on the issue.
For the second time in 2 days this week, the president-elect was denied when seeking a delay in Friday's sentencing in the Stormy Daniels case. A New York appeals court judge issued a one-cent ruling following an emergency hearing. Meanwhile, a federal judge in Florida has temporarily blocked the release of special counsel Jack Smith's report on investigations into Trump, who said it would be a fake report anyway. Greg Clugston, Washington.
Thousands of people have had to evacuate as wind-driven wildfires continue to rage out of control in tinder-dry Southern California near L.A.
The flames started near a nature preserve in the inland foothills. This woman in Eaton Canyon, Lori, says it escalated quickly.
My husband saw it was maybe 5 feet high, and then the gusts came and it just blew up.
She told KABC these quick wildfires are no surprise.
The drought, we haven't had any rain in the mountains, so dry, it'll just go in a puff.
Staff at a senior living center had to push dozens of residents in wheelchairs and hospital beds down the street to a parking lot. Another fire is burning in the Pacific Palisades neighborhood. A third wildfire has forced evacuations in the San Fernando Valley. I'm Ed Donahue.
Dangerous cold has settled in across parts of the south, and a developing winter storm threatens to drop snow along with sleet and freezing rain across parts of Texas, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. The National Weather Service predicts wintry precipitation across the southern plains starting tonight. President-elect Trump will huddle with Senate Republicans today. They'll talk about Mr. Trump's legislative priorities, including tax cuts. On Wall Street, Dow futures are higher. More on these stories, townhall.com.
Heard me talk about Relief Factor and how so many people enjoy a better, more pain-free life because of it. If you're dealing with everyday pain, it makes sense you'd want to try it first. Well, Relief Factor makes that pretty pain-free too with their 3-week quick start kit for only $19.95, less than $1 a day. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that fights pain naturally. Relief Factor doesn't just mask pain temporarily, it helps reduce or eliminate pain. Visit relieffactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF, 800-4RELIEF for Relief Factor.
Attention American homeowners, you're under attack. Your home and equity could be vulnerable to cyber thieves. There's only one company that completely stops them, and that company is Equity Protect. Equity Protect prevents any attempts to steal your home, equity, and ownership 24/7. Get your free risk report today by texting the word HOME to 94878. That's right, text the word HOME to 94878 to get your free risk report. Keep your equity and legacy safe with Equity Protect.
Cutting-edge technology helps a well-known Israeli reporter return to the airwaves.
Moshe Nussbaum has been connecting with audiences for more than 40 years. But after being diagnosed 2 years ago with a progressive disease that attacks nerve cells, he had to greatly scale back his on-air work. Nussbaum will be making a comeback soon using an AI program that has been trained to speak with his voice. He will be filmed as if he were presenting, and his lips will be technologically adjusted to match the words. Here's his AI, Moshe. He calls the technology a magic trick that has incredible meaning for everyone with disabilities. I'm Karen Shamas.
Rescue crews have found the body of a missing British hiker buried in the snow of the Italian Alps. They're continuing to search for his friend. Italy's Alpine Rescue Service says it received an alert about the men a couple of days ago, 5 days after they set off for a hike in northern Italy. News and analysis, townhall.com. Former President Carter arrived in Washington for the last time this week. A series of events underway honoring Mr. Carter following his death last week.
Members of Congress pay their respects during a ceremony in the Capitol Rotunda, where Carter will lie in state until his funeral Thursday at Washington National Cathedral. After the former president's casket was placed in the rotunda, 3 politicians delivered eulogies. Senate Majority Leader John Thune complimented Carter's work with Habitat for Humanity. House Speaker Mike Johnson said he was 4 years old when Carter was inaugurated and was the first president he remembered. Vice President Kamala Harris said when she was in middle school, her mother admired Carter's strength of character. Bernie Bennett, Washington.
A major citrus grower is calling it quits. The decision reflects headwinds Florida's signature crops face following a series of hurricanes and tree diseases. Alico Incorporated planning to wind down citrus operations after the current crop is harvested later this year. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel and what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
Your SRM program begins in 10 seconds. Your SRM program will be...
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. And that would be me, Mike Winters. Happy snowy delayed morning.
Yes.
This morning. Snow is falling.
It is slick out there. I'm just going to leave it at that. Give yourself plenty of time to get wherever it is you're going. Getting down to the base to drop the kids off this morning was... it was quite the daunting task. You have to kind of pick your spots. You're like, figure out, okay, that road probably hasn't been traveled that much.
Yeah.
Go with the more well-traveled roads.
Main routes are pretty clear.
Mm-hmm.
Side streets are...
Yeah.
That's what you're looking at right now.
It is pretty fun, though, to find a road that hasn't been driven down. Like you're the first person to put tracks on it.
Yeah.
You're like, ooh, everybody's asleep still.
It's fresh.
I get to draw fresh tracks.
That's how it was for the parking lot here. I get to go before I park. I'm like, ooh, I'm the only one here. My fresh track. So yeah, I did it. That's the beauty of having to get up before everybody else to go ride around.
And the other thing, and maybe this is just white trash nitpicking, but or celebrating.
Mm-hmm.
Since the snow fell, I guess kind of late in the evening or early in the morning, it didn't ice over as much.
Yeah.
So it's really just kind of fresh powder.
Yeah, it's powdery.
Like I just did like that on my windshield and I was fine.
Yeah.
I just whooshed it off.
Yeah, I want to say it probably started like after midnight sometime. I think I woke up about 2-ish.
Yeah.
And I think I saw like a little, like on my trash can lid there.
Yeah, I just kind of peeked out the window and I saw like a light dusting.
Yeah. So, but a lot of delays this morning. I've been updating our Facebook page as they come in. Here's the latest as of about 2 minutes ago.
Right.
Of course, Roswell Independent School District's on the 2-hour delay this morning, as is Gateway Christian School and All Saints Catholic School. They are on 2-hour delays this morning. Eastern New Mexico University Roswell is on a 2-hour delay this morning. They'll open at 10 a.m. Let's see. Lake Arthur schools will open at 10 a.m. this morning. Hagerman schools are on a 2-hour delay this morning. I just added the 5th Judicial Court, Chaves County, on a 2-hour delay this morning. Chaves County Magistrate Court is on a 2-hour delay this morning as well, too. I have not heard from city courts or any city stuff yet as far as delays there. Ruidoso as well on a municipal court and municipal schools and magistrate court on a 2-hour delay this morning, too. So that's the latest on the list. I've been literally, as my music was playing, I was like, all right, and the court. And
feel free to keep checking the Facebook page, 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM on Facebook. We'll keep that list updated as we get those updates.
Yeah, and it's kind of the one thing, Facebook, I'm cussing this thing because it keeps moving things around. But I do like the fact that, because I update one page and then share the page to the other pages. And so I only have to update the one page, and it automatically updates the rest of them.
Yeah, that's pretty handy.
Thank you. Thank you for a small wonder there. But yeah, I'll keep scouring the internets and what have yous to as we get those delays coming in, or if any of those delays do change to closures here if the snow doesn't dissipate. Now, according to the weather, we're only supposed to get like another half inch today, so it may keep snowing, but it doesn't sound like it's going to accumulate too much, but we'll see on that. As far as, let me see, I haven't I kind of read it, but I haven't read.
Yeah, Sidney Gutierrez, which falls into the Roswell Independent School District, they're on a 2-hour delay as well.
Okay, very good.
Just from the
I
chat.
kind of figured they're
in the RISD.
They're RISD schools, so they follow the RISD.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're talking less than a half an inch of snow today. There is a 30% chance of more snow here before 8 a.m. Then gradually, so it looks like this should taper off about 8 this morning is what it sounded like. So hence the 2-hour delay.
Yeah.
Then the sun's coming out. Our high is only 35.
Yeah, I saw it. I was like, oof. That's
good news is the winds are only about 5 miles an hour. So that's way more manageable.
Oh, yeah.
Than 10, 15 mile an hour winds when it's 35. So that's a small blessing.
But as far as road closures, delays, nmroads.com is the best place to go. They have the map. I did see that it looks like a portion of the road on 70 heading westbound and then southbound towards Artesia, a portion of 285 is snowpacked and icy.
Okay.
It's not closed. It's just severe driving conditions.
I did see a couple reports of some accidents on Facebook from just people.
Yeah.
So, I don't know the credibility or the details of those, but
the other thing is
just some reports I'm seeing.
Bear in mind, once you get outside of the town, that's when you tend to be opened up to the elements. You know, the winds get a little worse. The flurries maybe a little heavier.
Right.
So
anytime there's been anytime bad weather happens, the road between Artesia and Roswell is usually a nightmare.
It's a nightmare anyways now. After
whether it's windy,
after
whether
the floods, but
rainy, whether it's snowy, whether it's anything. That's a treacherous stretch of highway when weather gets bad.
Yeah,
it just is. So
I wouldn't recommend it.
Be careful. You got business south or any of that today. But yeah, Sean's right. NM Roads is they have an app for your phone. You can download it, and it updates in real time, and that's good to have anytime you're traveling. It's good with a good Chianti or.
I like mine with a nice white Zen.
Yeah. Now, but
before I check the road conditions.
No, but it is pretty handy if you take any road trip, because if there's any construction or accidents or any kind of delays in New Mexico, that thing will tell you pretty quickly. So.
It just kind of off topic, but it was pretty funny. So Raw debuted on Netflix this week, and it was kind of one of those pull out all the stops. The Rock was there. And you know that when it comes to The Rock, he's all about promoting his brands. So his big brand is his Terramana tequila.
Okay.
He talks about it all the time. He drinks it everywhere. So cuts to the scene in the back, and Rock's back celebrating with a bunch of people, gives Cody Rhodes a big hug, takes a gigantic swig of his tequila, then gets behind the wheel of an automobile and drives away. Look, they just depicted drunk driving on national TV. International TV, even.
Yeah.
Well done, WWE.
I hope that was water.
I'm just going to assume that was water.
But, yeah. Well, I guess that's Netflix.
Yeah.
Well, it's on pay TV now.
That's
so,
right.
We can
We
do
can
what
push
we want.
some boundaries a little bit.
We're going to show drug use next week.
Intravenous, even. No. They did that this week too.
Oh, did they?
Cut to I can't remember the name of the rapper in the crowd. He's just sitting there hitting a blunt with like Wale and a couple other people. Yeah, Wale was there, by the way.
Big fan too of wrestling.
Yeah.
He's not rooting for the Commanders.
Yeah, exactly.
He's rooting for. Do you think he's a fan of the movie Wall-E?
I'm sure it's come up at least a couple of times.
It's got to, right?
Because several times yesterday when I heard that Wale was there, they said, "Wait, Wall-E was there?"
The robot.
You got to imagine he's at least seen it.
Yeah, it's got to be on his radar, right?
If they do a live action version, he needs to be in it.
Wall-E 2 Electric Boogaloo.
There are, okay. So they're doing live action versions of every single Disney movie that's ever been a hit.
Yeah.
Some of these are a real stretch. Like they're doing, they're going to be, I think, starting or later this year, shooting a live action Moana.
Okay.
They just came out with Moana 2. Do we really need a live action Moana?
I guess they're striking while the iron's hot, maybe.
Well, while The Rock still has a
I was
body.
about to say, that just gives a chance to Rock to actually be the Rock in it
Yeah.
instead of just being the voice of the character.
There's no way.
Really, they drew. I mean, he kind of. I mean, I think he's He's cartoon version, but they made him look
yeah,
like
they
The Rock.
basically made him look like a much more Samoan version of The Rock.
Yeah, exactly. So, but anyway, let me give you the rundown as far as our show content. We're going to replay our interview we had with Ruth from Road to Recovery and Monica from the New Mexico Department of Health, talking a little bit about Road to Recovery and their annual 5K run's coming up here January 25th. So we're going to play that interview for you this hour. Lauren Dickinson with the Roswell Refuge going to join us next hour to give us an update what they've got going on. And then we're going to replay our interview with Doug Weiser from the Walker Aviation Museum in the 9 o'clock hour. Chit-chatting about they're still closed due to flooding.
Yeah.
But they are hoping to open in weeks. That's me knocking on wood.
Yep.
All right, it is 7:16. Let's get you the official weather of the weather. Here's the weather.
Here's the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Some snow showers rolling through today. We have a low pressure system moving in from southern Arizona. Pretty cool. We'll stay in the mid-30s. Little bit of accumulation possible, maybe an inch or so, and we'll stay cloudy. A few snow showers or flurries overnight with low 20s, and then more snow showers popping up on Thursday. Afternoon highs in the mid-30s to about 40. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, 27 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 85%. Winds currently out of the northeast at 3 miles per hour. Winter weather advisory is in effect until noon today. That's because of what we were talking about earlier. We got 30% chance of some more snow here before 8 a.m. Skies will be cloudy this morning, but gradually becoming sunny as the day progresses. Not doing a lot of warming up. 35s are high today, but winds will be pretty calm out of the northeast at around 5 miles per hour, shifting to the south later in the day. But they're saying less than another half inch of snow possible here. Tonight, looking at mostly cloudy skies, overnight low of 21 degrees with south winds at around 5 miles per hour. For Thursday, we are looking at a 40% chance of snow showers, scattered showers, snow showers before 5 p.m. Then a chance of a rain-snow mix after that. Mostly cloudy, high of 37. South winds 5 to 10 miles per hour early. Out of the north, 15 to 20 later in the day, so the winds are going to pick up. They're saying less than a half an inch of rain or snow possible on Thursday. Thursday night, 30% chance of rain and snow mix before 8, then changing back over to snow showers. Cloudy, gradually becoming partly cloudy. Overnight low of 24 with north winds at around 15 miles per hour. Friday, looks like we're done talking moisture, sunny skies, and 40 for a high. North winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Friday night, skies will be clear, cold, overnight low of 19. Saturday, sunny skies, 55 for a high. That's going to feel delightful. Partly cloudy, overnight low of 27 Saturday night. There's a 20% chance of snow. Sunday, mainly before 11, partly cloudy, 45 for a high that day. And then looks like we'll be in the upper 40s to start the work week next week there, too. So, but could see a little bit more snow here, but this stuff should be wrapping up about by 8 a.m. is the way this weather report's talking. All right, it is 7:18. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we're going to play our interview we had with Ruth from Road to Recovery and Monica from the New Mexico Department of Health. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Coming to the Liberty, Friday, February 7th. Don't miss a great evening with Los Lonely Boys.
How far is heaven? Lord, can you tell me?
And special guest, Shiloh.
Now I'm dodging a Ford in my Chevrolet.
Doors open at 6 and the show starts at 8. Tickets are on sale now at thelibertyinc.com. Get yours before they're gone. Don't miss an evening with Los Lonely Boys. And special guest, Shiloh. Friday, February 7th at the Liberty, 312 North Virginia in Roswell. This is a 21 and up event.
Picture this. You're behind the wheel of a John Deere compact tractor. You're effortlessly breaking ground, moving piles of rocks just by moving a lever, and enjoying the sun as you clear brush across your pasture. We could keep trying to put you in the moment, but to really understand what this feels like, you just have to get in the seat.
Stop by Pecos Valley Equipment in Artesia and Roswell, or visit us online at pecosvalleyequipment.com.
Do you know what the hardest part of dealing with a roofer is? Just trying to get them on the phone. Trustmark Roofing wants you to know you can always trust Trustmark Roofing to answer their phones. You need a free roof inspection? Just call 575-755-ROOF, and the phone will be answered by a live person, a real human being. Have a roofing project already going with them and need to discuss it? Just call 575-755-ROOF, and Trustmark Roofing will answer the phone. No answering machines, no voicemails, no weird robot automated attendant. That's because at Trustmark Roofing, they're all about relationships and treating people right. That's true for customers and vendors and insurance companies and employers, anyone and everyone who comes in contact with Trustmark Roofing. So if you have any roofing needs at all, trust Trustmark to treat you right and answer the phone. The number again, 575-755-ROOF, or find them online at trustmarkroofpros.com.
Hi, this is Melanie from Glenn's Furniture, and I want to tell you about our store-wide sale happening now. All items in every department are on sale. Upgrade your living space with power reclining sofas and love seats or beautiful sectionals with charging ports. Create ambience with amazing table and floor lamps. Get that long-awaited restful night's sleep with a new Serta mattress. Every department is on sale from our existing prices, so come down to Glenn's Furniture on the corner of Union and Alameda, where delivery is free since 1953.
You have a life, places to go, things to do, people to see, but it's hard to enjoy life when you have pain. You don't have to live that way. Softwave Therapy from Premier Chiropractic in Roswell can help you. Softwave's cutting-edge technology is non-invasive and can help your body heal. This new technology uses therapeutic energy waves to activate the body's dormant stem cells to promote natural healing. Sessions are quick with short treatment times. Start healing today. Call Premier Chiropractic at 623-2900 or visit healthyroswell.com.
The inventor of Pringles is buried in a Pringles can. I wonder if they got their hands stuck putting them in there. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 19 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from Road to Recovery, Ruth Gonzalez, and from the New Mexico Department of Health, Monica Saavedra. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning. Good morning.
How's everybody doing today?
Doing good.
Doing good. Okay. Now, for folks that aren't familiar, let's kind of start with the Road to Recovery side, and for folks that, because Department of Health, I think we all kind of know, but there's so many different facets. But we'll get to kind of their involvement here in a second here. But for folks not familiar with Road to Recovery, let's kind of just start there and give folks a little background information about that organization.
Okay. So we started Road to Recovery about 3 years ago.
Okay.
And it was after my brother, it was a fentanyl overdose.
Yes, that's right. Okay.
And so we wanted to implement this in the community because there's no help out there really for addiction and mental health. And so we decided to put this race together, sisters and nieces.
Sure.
And
very grassroots.
Yes.
Now it's getting a little bigger.
Yes.
That's the idea.
It is growing.
This is the third annual.
Yes.
The first annual was more family friends and really just very grassroots.
Yes. And we wanted to see what kind of feedback we would get from the community, and it is growing. We have involved the Chavez County Health Council. And now we've
Department of Health.
Yes,
Good morning.
Good morning. And so then we reached out to some of the community churches, both hospitals, and so we're trying to make it grow into a yearly.
Each year a little bigger, and we're hoping the fourth annual will be just a little bit bigger than this one and everything. But it really is yes, we're raising awareness, we're raising money. That's the big goal here. We're trying to get more, but at the same time, this also serves as the humanity side of it. It's a 5K, and we want you to have fun with it or take it as serious, run as hard as you can or make it as fun with a family thing, however you want to treat it.
Right.
But we also want to use this to honor the victories, to celebrate those that won their battles or are winning their struggles. We also want to honor those that have not.
Right.
And mourn and remember those that have lost their struggle to their road to their addiction or whatever issues, mental health issues they were having here. And so it's a little emotional. It's going to be a little roller coaster emotional wise, because we are going to be remembering good times and mourning losses. But at the same time, we're celebrating and trying to say, you know what, we're doing this so our kids or grandkids don't have the same issues we are having today to deal with. Like that when our kids or grandkids struggle with mental health or dependency issues, they're going to have resources to turn to, and they're going to hopefully maybe it'd be kind of nice if we got it to something where it's treating addiction and stuff as simple as treating, I don't know, chicken pox or something, you know what I mean?
Right,
something
right.
that basic, you know what I mean? And that's and obviously that's why we get the Department of Health involved. We get more resources involved and that's the thing with the Department of Health. I don't think people realize. You might think of one, but there are so many different facets of the Department of Health. The financial side and financial assistance for food and things like that. But if you just have questions about, I need a doctor, or what's the best resources for things, that's the Department of Health does all of that side too. And so there is much an information as a source for actual programs and things.
Right.
So that's kind of something that I don't think people realize all the time.
Exactly. And so this year, we are adding, some of our sisters will be dressed up as superheroes. We've also added that, people can come dressed as their superhero.
Okay,
as well
so kind of a superhero theme for the third annual.
Yes. Okay. And then some of the bibs, if this year we ordered them, they're going to be blank.
Okay.
And on the top, it'll be, I am walking or running for.
Okay.
And then you write your
You can
loved ones.
personalize it to celebrate your person or and if you don't have one particular, I don't know. Just tell you, I'm here to support everyone.
Exactly. Yes. And then a lot of times when people enter races, in their little packet that they get a T-shirt and their
little swag.
But
some swag.
we are doing something to honor
the socks we were just talking about.
Yes. And these are offered to all the participants.
Cool.
And it's rice and proso millet seed, and it will help with aches and pains after your race.
And keeps the kids in line.
Yeah. Well, and really and truly,
that's what we're talking about.
It's a good sensory thing.
I'm just kidding, of course.
No, they do hit each other.
They look kind of fun.
Yes. A mom came back at me and told me those were the best things that kept my children busy all afternoon. They were just hitting each other with no bruises.
So if it doesn't help stress this way, it'll help keep the kids quiet, which victory stress. Yes. Win-win.
Right? And that's why Monica's here with me today, because she's going to be speaking about what their services are going to be out at the race.
Yeah, that's kind of what we're saying. That people think, but that's really, it's a source of information,
Yes.
If whether you need personal information like shot records and things to resources to where's a doctor and stuff. So so for I'm going to guess we're going to focus on mental health and recovery side of kind of the Department of Health stuff at this event here.
Actually, there's a lot more.
Okay, we could make the umbrella of everybody.
I do want to thank Ruth for inviting me to be here. Her family has been an inspiration, and at their first annual, I was there, and I was there as a recovering addict.
Wow!
So I was
you've got
I was able to
from
share
every
my
perspective.
story,
Yeah, absolutely.
and it was amazing because I had never shared my story with that big of a group.
Yeah,
and it was kind of liberating, just like.
Well, imagine because, I'm just assuming. So if I'm wrong, but there's always that nervousness there because let's face it, there's still
stigma.
Yes, there's still people that don't understand that dependency issues it's no different than cancer or any other disease. It's and so to come out but then because yes, you like you said, but then when I'm going to say, what, there was a lot more. Maybe there'd be one or two. But there was a lot of people that probably embraced you. You know what I mean? And
they did. It was amazing. They were like, I can't believe you have 15 years clean.
Yeah.
Now I have 18, but at the time I had 15.
Sure.
And a lot of people were coming up like, how did you do it? Stuff like that. So it was amazing, and I was so proud to be part of that.
Yes.
And I was also distributing Narcan while I was there for the Department of Health.
Well, but here's another thing too, is I think it makes you more effective at your day job today. You know, I mean, for twofold. One is you have the compassion. You've walked those shoes. You know what some of these folks are going through. But also, two, it gives you street cred. Whereas they look at you and say, oh, they do understand. They've been where I'm, you know, and they can't use the things that they tell people. You can't understand it. You're not walking, and you're like, hold my beer. Sorry, part of the bad pun, but literally that's what it is. I've done this. I've walked those shoes. And so, I imagine it, you know, I believe in God. I don't know, but God puts you in the right place at the right time. That's the way I'm saying.
That's exactly what I was just telling her. I was like, I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. Thanks to God.
Yeah.
And her story is so amazing because I've been in healthcare for many years and hardly ever hear a success story.
Sure.
And to hear her story, I'm like, where were you many years ago? Because I would go back to my brother and tell him, this is what I saw in the hospital. This is what and nothing to get to him. And so yes, your success story is awesome.
and you know, that kind of reminds me too, I'd love to see healthcare workers come out and support here too. And because I imagine that in that industry, like you said, it's like law enforcement or any of these other career fields. You get, I don't know if the word jaded's the right word, but you kind of get immune to some of that, and you build your own walls and your own to protect your own sanity. And sometimes it makes you a little immune or numb to it. And you don't, and you lose your humanity a little bit on some of that. So maybe if you're experiencing a little work fatigue, maybe a 5K and seeing success stories and celebrating and all that might be good for the soul a little bit. You know what I mean?
And that's why we've reached out to the hospitals. We also are trying to incorporate the high school. We've have the
put the server's heart in the young folks too.
Yes, they're coming out to volunteer to help set up water stations, and so we've involved the Roswell and Goddard High School. We have a student coming out from one of the high schools to sing the national anthem for us. So yes, we're trying to involve as many and as young as we can get.
And so and of course we still got time. We want to invite the public. We actually still have a couple weeks here. It's not till January 25th, so it's not this weekend. So you got time to put groups together if you want to do as a team or more vendors and I'm guessing too if there's some nonprofits or organizations that kind of maybe do some of the kind of work that maybe say, hey, can we set up a booth or be involved? I'm sure they'd love to come out and be a part of that too here. So.
And we do have a Facebook page, and then my sister's information is on there, and they can reach out to her.
I will tell you, very easy. If you type Roswell Road to Recovery in Facebook, it'll take you directly to the page. You'll see the flyer for the 5K and all the information. And the phone numbers to sign up and everything here. But the event itself will take place January the 25th. It'll be at the Wool Bowl, like it's been the previous 2 years. Starts about 9:30 in the morning. You'll be done by lunchtime. So, you can go on. So if you got plans for the afternoon, no biggie. No biggie.
And that's what Monica's going to talk about, what she's going to be doing.
Right. So is it okay if I?
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right. So what we're going to be doing is I work with the disease prevention team.
Okay.
So right now we're number 2 in the nation for syphilis.
All right. So we probably should get a hold of that. Get a grip on that one. Yeah.
So we have a mobile unit that we're going to be taking out there. It's like an exam room on wheels. It's amazing. And we're going to be testing people for free for HIV and syphilis. Okay. And it's a finger stick. It's not a blood draw.
All right. So it's in and out pretty easy. Relatively painless and and not invasive.
Right. And we're also going to be training people on how to do rescue breathing for opioid overdoses and handing out free Narcan.
Excellent. So, in case, because that's just it. These emergencies happen, and sometimes law enforcement can't get there. I know, even though our law enforcement, I think at this point, are equipped with Narcan and stuff.
If you saw how many reversals we do, through our PHO public health offices. It's amazing.
Absolutely.
Like when they come back to get more, I'm like, did you use it? How many doses did it take? Did the person live? Did you call the ambulance?
Sure.
Did you do rescue breathing? Because we don't do CPR. We do rescue breathing because
Yeah,
it's
it's a
not
different-
about chest compressions.
Depending how old you are, you learned a different way to do CPR. I think.
Right. Well, it's because they stop breathing and it's not so
Sure.
much a heart thing. But if that's all you know, or if that's what
Right,
you
if,
require
like
to do,
I
do
got
it.
the old school, the hold them back and breathe in. I'm
Right.
like, I ain't gonna lie. If I see you laying on the ground, I'm gonna try that because that's what I was taught.
And that's what you should do, right? And I applaud anybody that tries to save a life, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to be doing that. And we're also going to be talking about our rehab here in Roswell and our detox here in Roswell. And I'm not sure, but they were there last time I was there.
Okay.
And so they'll probably be there again. And also, I'm not sure if they're going to be joining us, but we do have a methadone clinic here in Roswell.
Okay.
It's called MedMark.
Okay.
And they might be joining us. If not, I'm going to have all the information that anybody needs to talk about methadone.
Okay.
And we also have a Suboxone clinic here in Roswell
Okay.
called Renew Health.
Okay.
And
what is that? I don't know what that is.
Suboxone is also, it's kind of like methadone, but
Okay.
it's
A
not
different version?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's to help people get off of
I
opioids.
can't keep up
Right.
with all the latest
So
drugs and
this,
everything.
This one can be an
Like-
injection or a sublingual type of
Okay.
kind of like a breath mint like
Okay.
deal.
I just know that a lot of times it's very chemical now. A lot of these drugs that they're getting.
Well,
and
they're all
things.
man-made.
Yeah.
And so, but they work, and they're able.
I mean, I was talking about the drugs that they're overdosing.
Oh,
on. Yeah.
right. The
Whether
fentanyl.
it's fentanyl or
Right.
some variation thereof at this point. Yeah.
Right, and we have other rehabs throughout the state that we
Mhm.
can refer people to. I refer a lot of people to Carlsbad Lifehouse. They have a really good program there, and we have the Lighthouse in Clovis. So
Mhm.
I'm pretty familiar with everybody in our region and other parts of the state. But what we do is we really try to link people
Sure.
to where they need to be. So, like you said, we are a resource, and people
Absolutely.
reach out to us for this stuff. And we also want to talk about, proper disposal of syringes, even if it's because you're diabetic. We have a drop box. We have proper disposal containers
Yeah.
and so forth. So
You
we'll
don't
be
want those
talking
in our
about all
water
that.
tables and things like that. It's
Right.
bad when they end up in those places. So
Or,
it's kind
or somebody steps on them. Or,
It's kind of like the prescription drug take back days you hear this that the feds do every year through
Right.
the police department. Same thing. You don't want, they're taking all the stuff, no questions asked. But even if it's your prescription meds, your cold meds, you don't want that flushed down the toilet. Or
And we
end up in the
also
water
have
table either.
Terra bags, which are kind of like a charcoal substance.
Okay.
And you could put your pills in it, and it neutralizes them.
So that way you can dispose it in the trash
Mhm.
and
And
it-
same thing works with charcoal kitty litter. So,
Ooh.
FYI.
Good tip.
And I think I really, other than that education
Sure.
and the STI education.
And connection to resources,
Yes.
and I'm thinking if there's someone that's ready to maybe make the step to recovery, you can, come visit the booth on the 25th.
Yes.
And we can start the ball rolling there, or not, just talking, introductory, wherever you're at on that. They're willing to talk to you about it,
Right.
you know?
And guiding them to areas that, in the community
Sure.
that are
Yeah.
opening up
And-
to help.
Or even people that are that continue to use, and we want to help them do it in the safest possible way.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it's one thing to deal with your addiction, but then now you've got some STD or some other transmitted disease that kills you because of the needle.
Right.
I'd hate for you to get HIV,
Right.
or whatever.
And our HIV numbers have gone up in our region.
Has it?
In the last couple of years?
Yes.
And it's granted, I know it's a much more manageable disease than it was. It's not the death sentence it used to be.
No.
But at the same time, you don't want to live the rest of your life with that either. You know what I mean? You don't want to. That's one other thing. And unfortunately, this is one of the things of substance abuse. It's even when you get clean, it just depends on how long you did it, how much damage actually did to your body that we recover from. So the sooner you can kind of get off this, the better you're going to be, especially when you're getting into fentanyl and these meth and these drugs. it's sometimes one time's all it takes to destroy everything.
Because there is that illegal, they're making it illegally.
It's just so dangerous of the stuff. And we're not trying to scare people. It's not like this is your brain on drugs time of going.
Right.
No, this is legit.
Yes.
If you take too much of this stuff, sayonara, you're gone. We're not going to be able to talk to you anymore.
Because people are they're pressing their own pills. So you could shave off one side of a pill, a little microdot of it, and it's nothing. It's like ibuprofen. And then shave off the other side, and it's pure fentanyl.
And then it goes from innocent chocolate to nuclear warfare, and it's a millimeter's difference.
And you can't tell by looking at them. You can't. They look exactly like oxys, and that's what they're trying to disguise them as.
And that's why you gotta be careful. Even your best intents can still get killed.
We also have fentanyl test strips at the Department of Health.
Excellent. So you can, you know what? I'm just saying, if you're going down this path and you're like, let me check my kit first.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a bad move. Just saying.
I had read an article about the fentanyl.
Maybe not do it in front of the dealer, but when you get home before you use it, just that's what I'm saying.
Mike, you're hilarious. I hoped we had that here in New Mexico because so many people said that it made them think after they saw that strip turn a different color.
You didn't ding and then you died. Yeah. I mean, you're absolutely right. I mean,
they chose not to do that.
Maybe it'll scare you straight, but at the very minimum, at least you're getting what you think you're getting. You're getting what you're
because you never know. You really don't know, and that's really big here in New Mexico. In 2023, I wrote down some information here. There were 954 deaths of opioid abuse.
And that's the
overdose.
Reported. You know what I mean?
Yes,
like how many
CDC, yes.
or how many of those were something else, but it was a factor. You know what I mean? Technically, it was this, but they've had a history.
I would venture
you know
to
what I mean?
say it would be double that.
Yeah.
Right.
Because once they get in there and they start helping them, and if they have anything else, then they'll like, oh, it's natural causes.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's not. Or a heart attack because most of the overdoses consist of polysubstance
it's like,
use.
yeah, but they're 40. You know what I mean? They had a heart attack. They're not supposed to be having a heart attack.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
So yes, it was a heart attack, but brought on by drug use.
Yes.
That's and so but please, I know we're getting down, but the big thing is we want to come have you join us here on January 25th.
Yes.
We want to come have fun, but at the same time come and let's raise as much awareness. Let's take the stigma away from dependency issues and mental health issues. Let's bring it into the spotlight. Let's Susan G. Coleman it. I keep saying that. That's what we need to do to mental health. We need to get yellow ribbons and have walks and do where everybody's out wearing, I don't care what color, pick a color.
I think the color for addiction or opioid use is purple.
Purple. So let's
we're
purple
gonna
it
do
up. Yeah.
Purple.
I think Alzheimer's is too, so there might have to be a purple rumble there. But
I think they're going to be out there too.
Good.
A vendor.
Excellent. Good. Because
I know there was some people there with the suicide group.
Yeah.
Oh, excellent.
And I love that.
Absolutely.
They shared their personal stories.
Yes. Come one, come all. All of if you're.
And so we have a DJ that will be out there, providing music, and that kind of pumps up the crowd and
we dance.
Yes. Make it fun.
Absolutely.
And then
you're gonna be tired by noon. We didn't say you're gonna be tired by noon. We're just gonna be done by noon.
But yes, we are gonna make it a family-filled day too.
Sure.
So or morning, and we'll provide snacks for the people and drinks, water stations, and we're hoping for good weather.
Yes, hopefully, knock on wood.
Yes, last year it was freezing. But
well, hopefully we're getting it all out of the way now. Yes. So by January 25th, we're like, man, it's 65 again already. What are we talking about? Because it is Roswell.
and it will be a very emotional day that day too, because it'll be the actual anniversary date.
Oh wow, for your family and stuff. So a little bit closer to home for your family as well too. But I'm going to guess too, but this, we talk about what your family's doing and all the amazing work here too, but I'm going to take a stab as this is y'all's family's road to recovery.
Yes.
So, it's Because when you lose a family member to addiction or mental health or anything related like that, there's so much self-blame. I don't care who you are, what it is. Everyone's going, I could have did this. I could have done that. And at the end of the day, we couldn't. But that's not how we rationalize it, and that's not how we do that. So,
and it eats at me too. I shouldn't do this, but every once in a while I'll pull out his medical records. Mm-hmm. and before the EMS arrived, the people that he was with had used Narcan twice on him. So,
and it's and I hope you guys realize that you guys, you couldn't. It's the path is the path, and you can lead the horse to water. But at the end of the day, you can't make that horse drink.
Right.
And that's the unfortunate bad side to all of this stuff is you can do everything right, you think, and it still doesn't end the way you think it's going to end.
Yes.
And that's why we have this moment. But this is what I think for you guys. So I hope that this does help with the healing, and I hope that yes, the 25th is going to be a little bit rougher day than it normally is, as is every January 25th for you. But maybe the fact that this date's on this date and those memories get replaced. Remember the time we did this and it turns into the dancing or somebody did something dumb. I don't care what it was. Some fool did something and we were all laughing like, you know what I mean? They went out there with some weird pants or something. They did something out there. It's a fun run.
Yes, we do have to make it and change that.
So that's what we're, to slowly change the 25th for your family too. That's what I think this is. So.
And I think having all the vendors, after this, hopefully more will.
That's just it. We want to create the network. We want more people involved. We want it to, like you said, each year it's getting a little bit bigger and bigger. Mm-hmm. Hopefully next year some of these other organizations come in and are bigger presences, or they too are growing in their things. Because, a lot, especially in the mental health and substance abuse, a lot of these organizations are grassroots level stuff. And that's, the Department of Health's that big umbrella that can help, but a lot of it's, people like your family and yourself that are really just tired of seeing the same thing, and they're rolling up their sleeves and saying, what can we do to move the needle in the right direction?
Yes.
So, and that's what this is about. So come join us. If you have any questions or any information, if you don't do the internet and all that stuff, go ahead and call Loretta. That's your sister.
Yes.
505-362-3884. Again, that's 505. She lives up north.
Albuquerque.
Yeah. 505-362-3884. Or go on Facebook to the Roswell Road to Recovery. Just type that in the search bar.
Yes.
The first thing it'll pop up is their Facebook page. You can follow. Read more about everything here, learn more about Road to Recovery outside the 5K run and what we're doing here.
Yes.
And then, of course, you can probably go to any New Mexico Department of Health office here and get information on the event here, too, as well.
Yes. I was just wondering, can vendors still sign up if they wanted to?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
And
even that day, we will accept them. If they show up,
Come on, we'll get you here. But probably call Loretta if you're interested. Maybe not before. Don't show up on the 25th. Call this week or next. Then you get on that bubble here.
Give us heads up.
And
I think that's why we do it at the Wool Bowl. Because we can involve.
It's got a lot of room.
School and lots of room, lots of
convenient
parking.
track already to walk around. So that helps.
And then inside, there's plenty of areas for them to set up a vendor table.
Yeah.
Yes.
And plus, you get to pretend you're a football player for a minute. Right?
Oh yeah.
I'm sure there's a few kids out there going, he's at the 10, at the 5. There's a couple kids doing that. So.
Yeah, running on the football field.
If you are interested in being a vendor or to sign up or have any questions, please call Loretta, 505-362-3884. It's also on the flyer on the Facebook page if you want to do that too. Or go to the Roswell Road to Recovery. Type that in exactly, and it'll pop right up first thing on the Facebook page.
And we are keeping that page up to date, so any changes or anything that will be up
and
to
if
date.
you're looking for resources for help and stuff, there's a lot of links to a lot of things through that Facebook page. So please don't, if you're looking for a source for your own personal needs, I advise you to like and follow, and let's get plugged in, and let's find those resources.
Yes.
That's what Road to Recovery is all about, is getting you connected to getting you recovered. On the road, hence the name. Is there anything we missed, ladies? Anything through Department of Health side or through Road to Recovery that we wanted to share?
I don't think so. I appreciate you having us.
Anytime. And of course, if you have any questions, anything, please don't hesitate to reach out and come support it. Come on out January 25th. Knock on wood. It's going to be weather-wise pretty comfortable. I can't, it's not going to be 70 and sunny, but at least make it comfortable. We get it's January, but, let's make it a little.
Last year, we did bundle up, but as we were walking, we started removing.
I'm about to say it might make for some faster 5K times.
Yeah, right?
That's a little cold.
and there will be medals for each. We have it in different age groups.
Excellent.
And so we have medals made for the first place will be a.
So if you're really wanting to pursue times and things, we got some hardware for you. But the big thing is just come out and bring your family and fun and have fun.
And we weren't going to put the date on it only because, we're going to try to keep doing this yearly.
Sure.
But,
and medals are expensive.
They encouraged us to do it this year because it is actually the actual anniversary date.
Yeah, and I know the 5K community, people that like to run and do 5Ks on a regular basis, they do like to, have rewards for hardware, medals.
And they're nice medals. It's a silver, bronze, and gold medal.
I think NMMI, they just do sword. I think you got like a sword or something when they're 5K, something like that. But everyone likes because you gotta, I figure if I'm going to run 5Ks all the time, I'm going to tell somebody I'm good at it. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm just running and do all this pain, and I ain't get to tell anybody I'm good at something. So, I think that's the reason. It's like, I bust my butt. I want to tell people I'm good at something.
Yes. Proof of it.
But excellent. Well, thank you, ladies, very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Anything we can do. And even outside of our window of this, if we want to come on just to talk about road recovery, what's going on, or any updates or anything, or if you're looking for resources, help, please reach out and love to talk to people. Just keep people plugged in. So, good deal.
Yes, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Don't work too hard. Stay warm. I know it's hard this week. Bundle up. It is 8:49. Time for some news and some commercials and some Red Apple market update and Chaves County sports. I think I covered it all. And just a couple commercials. So we'll do all that and we'll be back. Don't go away.
A winter weather advisory in effect for southeast New Mexico until 6 in the morning Friday. The National Weather Service says we can expect mixed precipitation and total snow accumulations up to about an inch, with amounts maybe 3 inches in the Guadalupe and Davis Mountains. Ice accumulations around 1/10 of an inch as well. Winds also very gusty, up to 50 miles per hour, especially in the higher elevations. Plan on slippery road conditions, and especially for the morning and evening commutes. Gusty winds could also bring down tree branches. One person has died after a police-involved shooting in Hobbs. New Mexico State Police have been called in to investigate the circumstances. NMSP says the suspect died in the incident after officers pulled over a Dodge Charger near the intersection of Marland Boulevard and Fowler in Hobbs. 2 officers reportedly fired their guns, but no other details about the events leading up to the gunshots have been released. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
To land your dream job,
running a business is tough. Operational demands change fast, and keeping up can feel impossible. That's where DSI comes in. We've been helping local businesses thrive for over 25 years. You might know us for printer products, but we're your one-stop shop for cutting-edge office technology. From managed IT to video security, audio-visual technology, and more, DSI has everything you need. We're flexible, local, and have the resources of a national corporation. Be more productive. Make more money. DSI, the heartbeat of business. Visit DSINM.com.
Get your resume in front of a human. Here are some quick tips. Match the keywords in the job description. Do you see those specific skills and requirements listed? Make sure they're reflected in your resume. Keep it simple. Fancy fonts and creative layouts confuse the ATS. Stick to a standard text-based format. Avoid images. While they look great, the ATS probably won't be able to decipher it. And to get a job, you need to be tech ahead. Get my free newsletter at getkim.com. Even if you think it's a bit overhyped, AI is suddenly everywhere, from self-driving cars to molecular medicine to business efficiency. If it's not in your industry yet, it's coming fast. But AI needs a lot of speed and computing power. So how do you compete without costs just spiraling out of control? It's time to upgrade to the next generation of the cloud, Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, or OCI. It's a blazing fast and secure platform for your infrastructure, database, application development, plus all of your AI and machine learning workloads. OCI costs 50% less for computing and 80% less for networking. Thousands of businesses have already upgraded. Oracle is offering to cut your current cloud bill in half if you move to OCI. Offer ends March 31st, 2025. See if your company qualifies for this special offer at oracle.com/Kim. That's oracle.com/Kim. Oracle.com/Kim. Oracle.com/Kim.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Some snow showers rolling through today. We have a low pressure system moving in from southern Arizona. Pretty cool. We'll stay in the mid-30s. Little bit of accumulation possible, maybe an inch or so, and we'll stay cloudy. A few snow showers or flurries overnight with low 20s, and then more snow showers popping up on Thursday. Afternoon highs in the mid-30s to about 40. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Running a business is tough. Operational demands change fast, and keeping up can feel impossible. That's where DSI comes in. We've been helping local businesses thrive for over 25 years. You might know us for printer products, but we're your one-stop shop for cutting-edge office technology. From managed IT to video security, audio-visual technology, and more, DSI has everything you need. We're flexible, local, and have the resources of a national corporation. Be more productive. Make more money. DSI, the heartbeat of business. Visit DSINM.com.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. A big get-together for the city rivals last night in Roswell, on the Roswell Coyotes home court. It was a boys-girls doubleheader. Let's start with the girls game, where some mild surprise as Goddard defeats Roswell by a score of 51-45. Goddard's now 8-6 on the season. It was only the third loss for Roswell, who's 11-3. Goddard plays at Tucumcari tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. Tucumcari's actually 9-3, and that might be a decent game. Roswell playing at home against Mayfield Friday at 6:30. On the boys' side, it was Roswell beating Goddard easy, 70-32. The Coyotes are 10-4. Goddard is 5-6. Roswell next plays Thursday night, tomorrow night, against Mayfield at 6:30. Goddard playing at the North-South Shootout Thursday against Belen at 1:30. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. U.S. job openings unexpectedly increased in November, but a softening in hiring pointed to a slowing labor market. Job openings, a measure of labor demand, rose 259,000 to 8.1 million by the last day of November. President-elect Donald Trump said he wants the U.S. Congress to extend the nation's debt ceiling, adding that he did not want to see the federal government default on its debt. Cushman & Wakefield was among 6 large landlords sued by the U.S. Department of Justice over alleged wrongful practices in housing rental markets. The companies were added to the DOJ's lawsuit in North Carolina, accusing property management software company RealPage of letting landlords collude by sharing their pricing information with the company's software, which then recommends rent prices. The Washington Post will lay off about 4% of its workforce, or less than 100 employees, as the paper grapples with growing losses. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
I read a quote once that said, "When you blame others, you give up your power to change." Hi, this is Pastor Troy and Julie Smitherman for The Joy of Marriage.
We all want to play the victim at times. It even feels good to feel sorry for ourselves. But that puts a lid on our life. It stunts our growth. It damages our marriages. And if you have children, it can even hurt them.
It can seem like a daunting task to take responsibility for our actions. But the Bible says in Philippians 4:13, we can do everything through Christ who gives us strength.
If you've never experienced the love of God, and you don't know your true potential and don't realize how good God is, when you're feeling like a victim, turn to God. He'll give you the strength to move beyond yourself and help you have a victorious marriage.
If you have any questions or would like further information about the Joy of Marriage Ministry, please go to jomconference.com.
Are you walking around with a space in your mouth from a missing tooth? Are you having difficulty chewing? Or are you holding back on your big smile in those group photos? Hi, this is Dr. Sarah Usher with Carabelli Dental. Did you know that we provide dental implant treatment for our patients? We can help you replace one tooth or all your teeth with dental implants. Why not call our office today? Set up an appointment and let's chat about options that will boost your confidence and allow you to live the life with the smile you want.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental at the corner of 9th and Main in Roswell, or call 575-622-4455.
No static at all. Your new home for talk radio is KEND Roswell.
And good morning. It is closing in on 8 o'clock. Town Hall News up next. Unfortunately, I did get word my guest next hour won't make it, so we'll do some chit-chat next hour. We'll get you updates on any delays and all that, too. Stay right here. Don't go away.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. President-elect Trump asking the Supreme Court to intervene in his New York criminal case.
The Trump legal team is turning to the nation's highest court after 2 New York courts refused to postpone Friday's sentencing of the president-elect. His attorneys asked for an immediate stay to prevent what they describe as grave injustice and harm to the institution of the presidency. Prosecutors say they will respond in court papers. This flurry of legal activity stems from Trump's conviction last year on 34 counts of falsifying business records. Greg Clugston, Washington.
Mr. Trump will discuss his legislative priorities, including tax relief, in a meeting today with GOP senators on Capitol Hill. The president-elect says he'd like to roll all of those priorities into what he calls one big, beautiful bill. Driven by powerful Santa Ana winds, wildfires are raging across parts of Southern California. Several major fires in Los Angeles and vicinity, forcing thousands of homeowners to flee. The National Weather Service's Peter Mullinax does not expect the winds to relent for a while.
With several fires ongoing, the winds are expected to continue throughout today and even into Thursday as well, providing very little in terms of any relief when it comes to anything meteorological. For firefighters combating the ongoing fires in Southern California.
Parts of the south are in the icebox. Bitterly cold temperatures feel even colder thanks to brisk winds. Forecasters say it's a result of a polar vortex that does occasionally drop this far south. Former President Carter's body lies in state in the U.S. Capitol Rotunda. That's ahead of tomorrow's state funeral at Washington National Cathedral. Stocks are mixed on Wall Street right now. The Dow is down 181 points on the NASDAQ, trading 3 points higher. The S&P is 11 points in the red. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Good news for those who like that morning cup of coffee or two. The BBC's Charles Haviland on the latest research.
Over the 10 years, some of the adults being studied died, but those who habitually drank coffee in the morning were 16% less likely to have died than people who drank no coffee. Those who drank the beverage throughout the day, however, didn't enjoy any similar reduction in risk. The researchers said the cause of the difference wasn't immediately clear, but a possible reason is that consuming coffee in afternoons or evenings might disrupt the body's circadian rhythms or the levels of hormones such as melatonin.
Rescue workers in the freezing high-altitude Tibet region are searching for more survivors and victims. One day after a strong earthquake leveled thousands of houses and killed at least 126 people. Tents, quilts, and other relief items being delivered today to people whose homes are uninhabitable or unsafe. News and analysis, townhall.com. Democrats hope to hold up confirmation of Tulsi Gabbard as President Trump's National Intelligence Director.
Virginia Democrat Senator Mark Warner told reporters after his meeting with Gabbard he still has questions about her suitability for the role. Warner hopes to continue in his role as the top Democrat on the Senate Intelligence Committee, noting that the committee has yet to receive Gabbard's FBI background check and other paperwork. Warner is balking at Republican requests to start the confirmation hearings early next week. Intel Committee Chairman Republican Tom Cotton has stressed he wants to complete the hearings before Inauguration Day. Bob Agnew reporting.
The annual Consumer Electronics Show is underway in Las Vegas. This year, so much of the buzz surrounds AI, artificial intelligence. It's being integrated into all kinds of gadgets, from laptops and desktops to smart TVs and gaming systems. AI, clearly the next big thing, and it's here now. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
Your SRM program begins in 10 seconds.
Last week was New Year's. I keep forgetting to change that. I will do that soon. Good morning. Good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
The final countdown. Such a good song, you know, just gets you so amped.
Yeah,
you just
right.
hear those opening that and then the you just, that's there's something about there was like a certain like period of the 80s where music was just downright inspirational.
Yeah.
Like I was driving around the other day.
Half of them were in Rocky movies.
Yeah, exactly. The other half were in Karate Kid. I was driving around the other day and I was unironically listening to the song, "You're the best around. Nothing's gonna ever keep you down. You're the best."
Of course, I can not think of the Karate Kid when that song
every
comes
time.
on.
Every time.
Yeah, that's like, quite frankly, I'm trying to think if I've heard that song like played on the radio, like not Karate Kid adjacent. You know what I mean?
You know what's funny? It's funny when certain songs evoke movies that shouldn't be evoked.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you an example. The song, and I'll never not think of this. The song, "I Need a Hero."
Yeah.
I'm holding up for a hero to the end of the night.
Yeah.
That song I will forever associate with the movie Short Circuit 2.
Really?
Not even the original Short Circuit. Short Circuit 2.
one.
It's when Johnny Five, he's rapidly losing hydraulic fluid.
Okay.
So he's bleeding out, essentially. And he's trying to stop the bad guy, Oscar, or because he's all mixed up,
Right.
Raxo, which for the record is why I call Country Club Road Church of Christ Oscar Raxo. Have for years. That's why. Anyways, while he's gunning it down the pier, trying to like lock his radio frequency into the crane so he can knock this. It's a very complicated plot. Anyways, while all this is happening, that song is just jamming in the background, man. And as a kid, as like a young me, I'm just like, I was edge of my seat. It was one of those like probably free preview weekend movies, but I was edge of the couch, just like in awe of watching
Johnny Five.
And okay,
I associate with Cologne. That song. 'Cause
Really?
There was a song. That song was used for some Cologne big time in like the 90s there,
Mhm.
maybe. I don't remember the clone, but it was that, I need a hero, and they had the guy, and then some like some French
stuff. I'm sure it was like a sauvage or something. But that movie, like if you've never seen, I argue it's up there with Godfather 2 for one of the best sequels of all time. Like the original Short Circuit is great, but Short Circuit 2, man, it hits different.
I gotta watch them both because it's been so long since I've seen them that I don't. I mean, all I really remember is all the off quotes from you will be awarded the cake and all.
Do you remember when Johnny Five joined? This is again Short Circuit 2 when he joined the gang.
Yeah,
Los Locos.
Yeah, Los Locos is outer space.
Los Locos kick your face. Los Locos kick your butt into outer space.
Yeah, that's right. I remember
that. Back when gangs had, catchphrases and
West Side Story
and jingles. Yeah. But again, that movie is the clearly not Indian guy who's playing the Indian guy in the movie. You could never pull that off today.
Yeah. He's good golly. He was very over the top.
At the very end of that movie, spoiler alert for Short Circuit 2, while Johnny Five is laying there dying, essentially, the guy, he's over him. He's like trying to bring him back. He's like literally like doing defibrillating him. But while he's doing that, he's screaming, "Come on, Johnny Five!" And he says this line that to this day I have no idea what it means. He goes, "Come on, Yard! Come on!" Like right in the middle, just "Come on, Yard!" I have no idea what it means. Still to this day don't. I've tried to look into it. I have no idea.
Maybe it's just, but is it meant to be a meaning? It's a feeling.
Further spoiler alert, Johnny comes back. They get him back. Turns out they just had to Control-Alt-Delete. He was fine.
Not for a third movie.
No. There was no amount of life that could be breathed into that franchise.
And Ali Sheedy, one of the Brat Pack, starred in those movies.
God, she was beautiful.
Yeah. Delays. Yep. We have them. I have the list on our Facebook page up there. I've added a couple. Mostly the courts have all kind of chimed in since I think we last were talking about it. But RASD is on a 2-hour delay this morning, as is All Saints Catholic School and Gateway Christian School. Lake Arthur schools will open at 10 a.m. this morning. Hagerman schools on the 2-hour delay this morning. Eastern New Mexico University Roswell will open at 10 a.m. this morning, as will Eastern New Mexico University Ruidoso campus will open at 10 a.m. this morning. The courts, we've got the 5th Judicial District Court, Chaves County is on a 2-hour delay. Chaves County Magistrate Court, Roswell Magistrate Court, all on 2-hour delays this morning as well, too. So that's pretty much the list in a nutshell. Ruidoso schools, courts, 2-hour delay as well. So that's pretty much the updates I have at this point. As if we get any more or any changes to that, we will let you know.
I can tell you it is still coming down a little bit, just enough to kind of cover a windshield.
Should be tapering pretty soon, according to what weather's telling us here. So, but you know how that works.
Taint blizzarding out there.
It's not going to go like right at 8 a.m. shut off like a valve there, but it'll start tapering off here, I think, the next hour.
I watched a video that it's at the same time kind of like disheartening to my childhood, but also very interesting. It was a guy who was skydiving, but he managed to go through a cloud.
Okay.
So it's beautiful sky, there's clouds below him, which is already a kind of a cool sight.
Yeah.
So he jumps in and he goes into this cloud, and just all of a sudden it becomes the worst weather you've ever seen in your life. It's just like freezing fog and rain just hitting him from all directions. He comes out of the cloud and he is just drenched.
Wow.
They said it's a possibility. It's not a probability, but it's a possibility that with the lack of atmosphere up there, with the lack of oxygen up there, if you're not properly equipped, you can drown in a cloud.
Wow.
It was crazy to think about. You could actually literally drown in the sky.
So maybe you should wear an oxygen mask and do that.
But it's disheartening from your childhood perspective, because you're always sitting down as a kid and you're like, fluffy white clouds.
Right.
Hi, but it's hell up there, man.
Or you get the cartoons where you're just, like the angels.
Yeah, the angels are floating up there playing harps. Nope. It's a storm brewing. It's like the worst episode or the worst version of The Perfect Storm, the movie you've ever seen. It was just like coming from all sides.
Wow.
Like he was in a car wash with all his windows down or something.
Yeah, that's if you ever wanted to. But I imagine the temps is what's really cold. Because it's probably.
Oh, yeah, instantly I'm sure it drops like 30, 40 degrees.
Yeah, it's probably, just a tick above freezing. So.
Weird story. Did you hear about a JetBlue flight? They found 2 bodies.
Oh yeah, stowed away or something.
Yeah, I think in the wheel well.
Yeah,
like in the where the landing gear drops down.
Yeah.
Apparently, that's like a relatively common thing. People like try to stow away up there and die. The reason I thought of it was die of hypothermia because it's potentially what happened to these people.
My only question is because it's JetBlue, that's domestic flight.
Yeah.
Where were they going, and why were they needing to stay away in the United States?
And how did they get in there? Yeah. I mean, there's so many people.
Like that's stories I hear, like people trying to go from overseas here or something,
right.
Not people in the United States stowing away.
I'm not sure where the flight was coming from or going, but it just when I heard that story, 2 bodies were found on a JetBlue flight. I'm like, we just started 2025. Last year we were blowing doors off of planes. This year we're finding bodies.
Now I've never flown JetBlue, but they're kind of like known as like the low.
Yeah, well, no, they're not cheap. They're no Spirit. You want to talk lowball? That's your Spirit Airlines,
like national lowball. You know what I mean? Like you can go other than like down the road.
Right. I'm pretty sure if it was legal, if they could legally do so, that Spirit Airlines would put in just the handles like you have on subway systems.
Like subway bus.
Yep. Just hold on, we'll get you there, all right?
Oh, speaking of that, because I recently got on a plane and stuff, but we were in Dallas. And have you ever been to the Dallas airport or know how it works?
I've never been to the Dallas airport. I've driven by it, but I've been to Dallas.
Well, at the Dallas airport, you really, to get from gates, you have to get on their little tram system.
Right.
Especially if you're flying out from Roswell, because you land in like the E, and almost everything you're going to have to be like in the C or D gate.
I'm sure it's a ways out there.
Yeah, so you have to get on tram to get there. And how their tram is there's like little seats. There's maybe, I don't know, in a car maybe 15 seats or so, and then but they're all around, and then they got the subway bars. And it's open. And I get salty because every time I get in there, and this is the dude in me, like I see perfectly healthy dudes just sitting there, and some lady or some person that clearly needs to sit down,
the seat, right,
and they just sit there just as healthy as could be and go get up. I'm just like, how rude are you?
What is
man?
wrong with you?
I mean, you're let the person sit, man. I just and so I don't say nothing, but I give that dirty eyeball the whole time.
So what? I have that same thing, but in the grocery store.
Yeah.
When I'm like, and this is usually me in this scenario, I'm like, come on, guys, I have like 2 things.
Right.
You've got a cart full of stuff. Can I just run in front of you real quick?
Right.
Yeah.
And
usually they'll afford you the courtesy, but there's those people that are like, no, you're good.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I know exactly what kind of person you are.
I will look at you and then I will decide. Actually, I don't get asked that very often because I'm not usually the
two person,
or
2 product person.
And to be honest, when I am, I usually get in the line with the others that have it. You know what I mean? Like I'm not that unless there's just nobody around. Then I get, but you know what I mean. I'm kind of like, all right, I'm not going to go into the express lane with this, and because people do that all the time, and I judge you too. As a matter of fact, that was years ago, but some woman, oh my goodness, me and Kim were doing grocery shop. We're at Walmart, and we had our thing of groceries, and we had like 3 things or something with 10. And so we got in the checkout, the express line,
right? And
there was this lady who literally had a basket full of stuff, and I just said, man, I wish people could sure read signs around here. And that's all I said. And this lady just, what?
She picked up on it.
Oh, yeah, and she just laid into me, and I was like, just saying, follow instructions, people. Someone's got to be special over here. Can't follow instructions.
Now I know
she just got mad.
In fairness, it's one of those things that there's a problem from a bygone era because and most people curse them and don't like, but thank God for self-checkouts.
Yeah.
This
was before self-checkouts were a thing.
That has been my saving grace as far as going to the store with my children.
Yeah.
Because I know I'm not going to have to wait that long in line. I giggle at people who are like, no, I'm not going to do their job for them. I'll stand here in line. Okay, fine. Then you're going to wait 20 minutes to check out.
It depends on how much stuff I got. Like and it's better now.
Mm-hmm.
Like when they first started, and then you had to like put like your case of Cokes on the thing, and then it's like, wait, you just put it back in. I'm like, no, there's no room.
Yeah.
I got to put it in here.
Right.
And now they don't have that problem anymore. But when they had that problem, I was mad.
It's funny because I'll judge a place based on your self checkout. Like if you're one of those places where I have to tell you every time I took a bag off the thing.
Yeah.
Come on now. Walmart has their crap together. You know, they know what's going on.
They didn't used to, but they do now.
They know that I'm going to take stuff and put it in the cart. What does bother me is when it's like associate, and they'll have to come over and you see that overhead shot of yourself where they think you did something wrong, but you were just opening a bag.
That's the other thing.
Mm-hmm.
I can't open those stupid bags.
This is why COVID was a problem.
Like I hope to God, like if it starts, shut the lane down. I can't get the bag open. We're going to be here 20 minutes before I get this bag open.
This is why COVID was such a problem. Because when I would go through that self-checkout, I have my mask on. I can't lick my finger to pull the bag. That's the first thing I'm going to do is, lick the finger and get the friction so you can pull the bag open. It was such a nightmare. I was sitting there just like pawing at it, like trying to get fingers into it.
I literally have to say, Kim, I can't do it.
While also wearing gloves, by the way. That was the other nightmare scenario.
But the mask or not, I can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
I can't. I just when it gets that way, I'm like, oh, we might as well close. We might as well go home. We're not getting this done.
We live here now. That's why I appreciate the people that work the self checkouts that come over to the open stalls and they'll pull the bags open.
Yeah,
they'll like pre-open them for you.
Those are
unsung
saints.
Heroes of the grocery game, right there.
Saints right there. They're saints.
That's right.
But our guest is not going to make it in today, unfortunately. So hence while we're chit chatting and all that. But oh shoot, I forgot to print it. Or if I print it off, I forgot to pull it off.
I'm on, boss.
Yeah, I've got a promotion for folks to talk about there. So we'll chit chat this hour, and we got a replay interview next hour, but we'll just chit chat this hour, and we'll bring Jocelyn in, get an update from Food Not Bombs too, because they with the cold temps and stuff right now, they're really working overtime to try to serve the needs of folks that are out in the cold. But unfortunately, Refuge isn't going to make it in today here. But they do have a Valentine's Day raffle that's coming up in March. Just kidding. February 12th.
Perfect time. Just in time for St. Patty's Day.
Just in time for Christmas. But they're having a Valentine's Day raffle where you can win a bouquet of flowers and chocolates from Behringer's Blossom Shop. A $40 Texas Roadhouse gift certificate and $50 Antigua gift certificate, and it's just $10 for the raffle ticket. You can get it from the Roswell Refuge or anybody that knows Refuge, and we'll have them in I think next week to talk about this too. But it's their big Valentine's Day raffle. It's one of their fundraisers that they do pretty often each year. That's one of the things they do. So. If you'd like to get involved with that, and of course, if you're not familiar, the Refuge is a great organization that helps victims of domestic violence. They are everything from their shelter to counseling services to everything in between, and they even help the other side too. They do counseling services for offenders and everything else, so kind of breaking the cycle. So they do a lot of good work. They also partner and kind of house in the SANE program, which this is for dealing with victims of sexual assault. So if basically what happens is if a person is sexually assaulted or raped or deals with anything like that, the SANE folks will come in and first take care of medical needs, helping them whatever they need medically, any of that kind of stuff, counseling, whatever they need there. But if they choose to prosecute, then they also will be the ones that collect the evidence and do what they got to do for that.
Oh, I didn't know they did all that.
But yeah, they do. They really do yeoman's work over there and stuff like that. And that's all part of that too. So I shell out $10 and help them out. That'd be
that's
great.
Cool.
They do a lot of good work there at the refuge.
Oh,
so, good stuff there. Of course, Jocelyn, our video producer by day or by morning.
As my daughter says, I wear mini hats.
That's
or
right.
Mini hands, mini hats, mini hands.
But also helps run the organization Food Not Bombs here, and which has really been it's just this grassroots for. I know we talk about it a lot here on the show, but just a grassroots effort of it's really the main thing is feeding people. You know, there's food, but that those needs also expand to warming, clothing, you know, taking care of as many immediate needs that we can possibly can for folks in need.
Right, and we're pretty much been boots on the ground for quite a bit. I think we've been working about 8 months now.
Sure. I mean, officially through Food Not Bombs, I mean, this has kind of been going on through, you know, with Geneva and with the, you know, the Homeless Coalition, various other entities. It's kind of evolved, and so but it's kind of a little triage a little bit where Food Not Bombs kind of focuses strictly on feeding people. Obviously, with the homeless and the weather right now, it's kind of on all hands on deck. But that's their primary thing. Where some of the other 100% Chaves County, some of the other umbrella of the organizations are kind of focusing on other avenues to help with people.
Right. And yesterday we partnered with Pecos Valley Medical Services, and they come out on when we do food and just kind of hang out, and if anybody needs medical attention, you know, blood pressure checked, any wound care type things.
Anything they come up with and say, hey, can you look at this? No problem.
They're a good organization to support too. They're completely free. You know, if you need help, you can call them. But yesterday we made about 25 lunch sacks to hand out during the snow last night, and we also gave them warming bags. The warming bags had gloves, hats, different things like that.
Yeah. So they're kind of getting along with so while they're going out and doing their medical checks, they're saying, hey, here's some food, here's some clothing, whatever you need there.
So we got them some stuff yesterday to do that, and you know, we partner with a lot of different organizations. A couple Sundays ago, we did partner with the guys that were on here yesterday for the rehab Road to Recovery thing.
Yes.
So they were actually out there a couple Sundays ago doing testing. So they were doing HIV testing and things like that, and they were giving out gift cards for people that got tested.
Yeah, if you kind of caught our interview last hour, we were talking a little bit about that, and they said, the Department of Health saying that weirdly enough, there's a syphilis outbreak right now.
They said we're one of the biggest places in the country. New Mexico is a big thing for syphilis.
Yeah, so they're actually going around doing a medical treatment for that kind of testing.
It's a good program because they're mobile. So anytime you see them, I think they're going to probably get with us in the next. I think they do it every 3 to 6 months.
Okay.
And they said they'd partner with us again. And we had a big turnout. You know, a lot of people came, got tested, ate. You know, it kind of turned into a big thing.
Good.
So
now this is what there's a lot of people need, and so really, you know, like we said, this is really grassroots. So it is hand to mouth. It's with donations that come in. They're usually going right out the door within hours, if not days, of it being collected.
And you know, we don't just service, you know, homeless. If there's a family in need, we work with CASA. You know, they'll call me and say, hey, you have food. We have a family in need that's, you know, and we'll get out and deliver. We'll see what we got.
It's always no question. Yeah, whenever you guys do your serving, literally you could be Elon Musk and walk up and have a sandwich. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, you know, it's literally no questions asked. Or, you know, you don't have to give me paperwork or ID. You know, if you're hungry, you're hungry, and you know, and it's always we have more than enough. You know, and we go till we run out.
Yep.
You know, we'll be there in the cold, rain, snow.
And we do appreciate all those businesses and organizations that kind of reach out and say, hey, we just had a thing, or we've got extra food tonight. Because that's really how this runs. And I would invite, if there's other folks that do these kind of things or would like to help out, and sometimes it's not even that. A lot of times it's just some kind person that says, I made a casserole or I made a big 8 gallons of chili, because you know how some people are. I made soup. I can't make like enough for 2 people. I made enough for an army. So
And,
they're like, here's
you know,
soup.
literally during these Christmas parties and Thanksgiving, we received so much food from the Boys and Girls Club with their Thanksgiving dinner. You know, they had a whole Thanksgiving dinner that they had offered, and he called me up and said, we have these leftovers. You want them? I went and picked them up, delivered them to, you know, who needed it. And that's how this works. It's food recovery.
Yes.
You know, because there's so much food that goes in the trash.
Absolutely.
And if it's good, it can be eaten, heated up, you know, we'll serve it. You know,
when we live, and this is it boggles me that we live in this country and we have this issue but yeah, I mean, most of us here, you're listening to the radio and everything, and you're fine, you know. Okay, you maybe not be living high on the hog, but you're like, at least I know what I'm having for dinner tonight. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And there is more people than you realize, that probably people you know, people you have in your daily lives, that you don't realize that they don't have that luxury.
Right.
They're living paycheck to paycheck, barely give. Yeah, and it's just it. We talk homeless and things like that. There are so many people that are literally one paycheck away from being homeless, or one more bad thing happening from being homeless. You know what I mean? And so we're not all that far, and that's why, you know, I love Food Not Bombs and these organizations, because, you know, I get it. You got to set standards on applying for things, and there's got to, you know, I get there are some people that do take advantage of these things, but you can't throw the baby out with the bathwater. If that makes sense. You got to still help people that need help, and you know what, you're going to take a few you got me's, but at the end of the day, I don't think most people, and that's just it too. I think most people, if you give them help and you give them, most don't take advantage. The people that are, and to be honest, and this is, I know you explain this better than I can, the most generous people you'll find most of the time are people that really don't have.
Oh yeah.
Like they'll like people that like, and you'll see it in the homeless community. You give them a sandwich, that's all they got. It's a sandwich. They'll split the sandwich in half and give it to someone else that they know also doesn't have a sandwich. You know what I mean?
I have clients out there that will give me their last dollar, and I'll tell them take it for gas, you know, or they'll, when they see us getting stuff out of the trucks and the vans, they help unload. You know, it's they know, and they help us with what they can. You know, I've got clients all the time, you know, what do you need help with? What can we do? And we're here to help you. Like, you don't have to help us.
Sure.
You know, but that's the attitude that they have.
Well, and people have pride. People have it, and they say, you know, I am capable, and so that I mean, that's part of it there too. But and then some people are, you know, it's humbling, because I know I would be that, because I'm sure if I, you know, am in that situation today and someone, I'm going to be that person that's like, I really don't, because I'm just like that, and I know a lot of other humans also think like that,
right?
And so, you know, my point is, you know, it's really is finding your heart to give. If you give, I know people like to build excuses. Well, they're just gonna, and I'm like, yeah, maybe, but but if we can help 10 people and 2 people took it, you know, you know what I mean? It's still a win at the end of the day. It doesn't matter. And this is food, like you said, half the stuff people are throwing away or whatever, and now we can feed 100 people.
Yep.
That was all destined for the trash.
Yeah.
And now 100 people had dinner tonight.
You know, and we're trying to really get the word out to, you know, like you had said, with if you have meetings, if you're having a big convention and you have food left over, we've taken it and we were able to, you know, give it to people. And, you know, luckily we've gotten, you know, like I said, with Boys and Girls Club, they give us their leftovers when they have big events, convention center when they have things like that. So, you know, instead of it going in the trash, you know, we will heat it, you know, take it and give it to people.
It really is a cool thing to see if you've never seen it firsthand. It's just, and it's a lot more fun when the weather's nicer because it kind of turns into like an afternoon in the park. But you
know, speaking of afternoon in the park, I have to promote this. So May 24th is the anniversary of National Food Not Bombs.
Oh, okay.
It's a national organization, obviously, and we're a small chunk.
Sure.
But we are going to try and get all of our other organizations, kind of have bands, you know,
like
organizations, food, stuff like that to celebrate. get some people out there and feed them and, kind of see what we
maybe
can do
get like
there.
some of the nonprofits that can offer services and booths and
of
free
course
screenings
we'll
or
have,
whatever.
Road to Recovery and probably
have live
different
music
things like
and
that.
dancing and, it's like a party, but with,
so
some side services to help people while you're here.
So it'll be warmer, I promise.
Veteran service
May.
people and some, do it when the weather's nice. But and I know they're talking about Westminster. They're doing that as a place for people to help, and that's a good thing. From what reports I'm hearing, they're not really offering food and that kind of stuff. So again, this is kind of filling the void where they're great. We can get some people out of the cold for the night, but they still need food. They still need clothing. They still need sleeping bags. That's probably, we keep bringing the food because it'll always be fed. But if you have sleeping bags that are still good, but you just aren't using, or blankets, or coats that are winter coats, and now socks and things like that, we'd like to try to keep new. So, but coats, heavy sweaters, things like that, scarves, hats. Mittens,
anything warming, and like you said, the Westminster Church, he's doing warming center, I think, in the evenings. I'm not exactly sure. You guys can look that up on disaster relief, Roswell Community Disaster Relief. He's got his post up there, but if they're not offering food, I'm not sure, but we are still serving on. We switched to Fridays because we found out a resource. Salvation Army is doing mobile meals at 3 on Thursdays.
Okay.
So we're
want to
we're kind of trying to fill that gap.
Sure.
So
so they kind of have like on Thursdays we go here, Fridays we go here. Kind of give them a schedule.
Right.
So they know where they can find food.
We're slowly trying to figure out where everybody's kind of getting fed there. So we switched to Friday evenings at 5, and we're still doing it Sunday afternoons at 1.
That's awesome.
So,
and for folks, other stuff in the past, like some of the schools, you've partnered with them on food and things like that. So you guys have worked with anybody and everybody in the community.
Yeah, Mountain View. Thank goodness Jackie over there gives us donations on Thursdays and Fridays of their leftover lunches, because and it's so much. It's
That's
so
awesome.
much food that gets that she gives us, and we can just serve it, that day, and what we can't serve, it'll be good till Sunday. or we'll give it out to families that need it, that
Absolutely.
day. So.
And then, of course, if you don't have these things, but you do want to contribute financially, is always a good thing, because they always go buy what they don't have. Here's the problem, though. Jocelyn's pretty much hit up every place that might even think of selling a sleeping bag in town, and they're all pretty much out. So
it's been slim pickings for sleeping bags. But, we've handed out pretty much all of our sleeping bags. Also, we do have an Amazon wish list on the page.
Excellent! So people can contribute to that.
Can buy stuff off of there. My Cash App, of course, is on there. Also, the link to Hagerman Forward. There are nonprofits.
Dan Jennings, Geneva Martinez,
so
they're associated with all of that.
If you go on the Food Not Bombs Roswell, you'll see the Hagerman Forward link to send money, or you can send it to me, and as always, it goes right back.
Yeah,
to them.
it literally, I literally, it'll come in today, and by this afternoon or tomorrow, it's being used in a park somewhere or something.
Yeah, and we had asked on Monday about donations for sandwich stuff and stuff like that, and thank goodness for the community, and we were able to get 25, like I said, sack lunches out, and people donated food.
And this is
stuff,
something that's probably we're trying to get done more often, so that this is kind of a regular thing. So for folks that want to contribute on the regular, like if there's restaurants out there, it's like, you know what, I got 8 pounds of deli meat every day that
think about that food that gets thrown out that you're about to throw out every night at that restaurant.
Please. We can make a difference for so many people for that stuff. You don't realize how big a deal that is. And thank you for all that keep doing that. And I love those families, those moms and dads out there. It's like, we made like chili, but it's just my husband and I, or just my wife and I, and we literally can't eat all this chili. So
and I've gotten a few calls like, hey, we made these casseroles, and and we've gotten some dinners from American Legion over there on
Post 28?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Post 28.
Good deal.
So I've got a girl over there that she has said, hey, come get this food. We had a party last night, and
I love that.
So it's really about food recovery, and just knowing that that person doesn't have to go hungry because people contributed.
Yes, exactly. We literally have so much food that's going to waste, and it's easily, and I understand some people's concerns, FDAs and all this, and it's like, but okay, but if we're trying to sell it, we're trying to okay, then maybe we need to talk, but this is, something we're just, and it's everybody's on the up.
Well,
really,
and one thing I know people are kind of worried about that, but we are covered by the Good Samaritan Act that was passed during COVID, I think.
Yeah.
So the Good Samaritan Act is basically going to protect you and me.
Yeah.
So it's
and these folks know what good food and bad food looks like. If someone hands you something like, all right, this looks suspect.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna hand me something moldy, I'm not gonna serve it to them. I mean,
how is this Jello moldy? It's like fruitcake.
But,
all right.
I mean, generally it's pretty good food.
Yeah, exactly. That's just it. Most people are just kind-hearted and they say, hey, look, I made a batch of enchiladas and I don't have enough people to eat them all. You want some? That's what a lot's going on, and we're just saying yes, we'll take it.
Yeah.
Instead of rules like, well, we can't. Was it cooked in a commercial grade kitchen or whatever questions they're going to ask you? And it's like
nobody cares.
Like,
I mean,
does it smell good? Does it taste good? Is it going to fill my belly? All right, let's do this.
The thing is our clients just want something in their stomach. Yeah. And it's we try to prepare it the best we can, and when we don't get food, like you said, we buy it. We'll buy chicken or
sure. But some nights they're eating pretty good, man. Some restaurants put out some good eats, and you're like, wow.
A lot of my clients are like, we've gotten food from the country club, and they've never had
kind of like I was like filet mignon.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, when you gave us all that food from the
barbecue,
they loved it.
Yeah, there was a lot of barbecue there.
They loved the heck out of it.
That was a La Sierra barbecue, if I remember right.
And they were on it. We fed a lot of people at the skate park, over 100 people.
Good. That's what we want. That's what I love about this stuff, and it was great because I knew, I was like, man, there's so much dang food here, and there's like 6 old people here. We're not gonna.
And it was the perfect event too. It was.
And it was like, they had and they already had a party going because they had, the bands were playing. They had. I was like, here's tons of beans. Here's a ton of pork or whatever was in there. Brisket.
I think Tori that was running the skate thing, I don't think she expected all that food, but she was so grateful. She was like,
Well, I know. I was like, did we have too much? I was like, I hope we're not overwhelming them.
and even after that event, we were able to, the next day we were able to serve what was left.
Well, and they kept, and this is something, and this is where I always love Veterans and Legion and those types of things. Mentally, sometimes we are stubborn SOBs, and you're going to want to kick us in the face because we just, we kick you off. I get it. But when it comes to nonsense and doing things, they don't play around either. It's like, look, we're here to help people. Where's this going to go out? And they were literally like, look, who's this going to help? Like the cash. Who can it help right now? I said, I know exactly who it's going to go to. And so that's what we did.
Well, thank you. It really helps, and we are super grateful for everything that the community has given us, and our clients are too. And,
and this is and it's little stuff, folks. That's what I'm saying. If y'all do a little bit here and there, go volunteer. And this is why I always say, and even if homeless and this is not your thing, pick something. I don't care if it's pets, if it's youth, and you want to work with. But everyone pick a thing to get involved in your community to make it a little better.
I think it's the January is kind of the new you type attitude, and we're always asking for volunteers. And you don't have to. It's not labor intensive. Even if you want to just come out, hang out, and see what we do.
Sure.
We're cool people.
Sure.
We have our music going, and
and it's all non-judgmental stuff. And it's kind of. And I get it, like, for instance here, it's like when you get involved in, and I know something else, the Humane Society, they shared the video, and people feel, and I get the feelings there, and that's the rub, is the really thing. It's because at the same time, yes, there's people in need, and we want them to help, but at the same time, you can't destroy the thing.
Right.
And so there's the rub. So how do we find that balance? And that's what we're working on, and you see the Humane Society, and they're just trying to do good work, but at the same time, there's people in need. But I will tell you this, for the folks at the Humane Society, if you're in need, go walk in there during hours. Walk into that thrift store and say, hey, I don't have any. Don't rummage through their thing. Go in there. They will help you. They will absolutely help you if you talk to them.
And I've given Crystal, dog food, cat food, cat litter.
Yeah, there's a they help out all the time, and I know people get mad, but it's a very frustrating thing to deal with, and that's but here's the other thing too. Some of these people in need are not mentally there. They're drug addicted, and they're trying to feed their addiction. So they're going to do whatever means is necessary to feed that addiction, and stealing and robbing is on the list of things to do. So that you got to take. Yes, it's frustrating, and yes, you need to prosecute when these things happen. But at the same time, we got to understand, if we fix the bigger thing, you'll see less of this stuff. We got to fix the mental health. We got to fix, when you start seeing that, then things like Food Not Bombs is not going to be as busy.
Right.
I'm telling you right now.
You know, it's like I said, you know, if we don't just do food, you know, our main focus is food, but you know, we have sweaters, we have gloves, we have things that, you know.
And you have folks that have multiple needs, and you're like, all I got's a sandwich. But and you're like, no, well, and here's some gloves. Here's, by the way, here's a contact of a person that might be able to help you through the VA or through church or wherever that might, or take that and throw it out the window and go have a sandwich. And you know, that's the beauty of it, is your people that come are totally in control of this. Because not all homeless people don't want to be home. Have a home. I mean, there is that. And I mean, granted, most people want a better life, but there are a small population that's why they're there. They don't, and so we're not trying to convert them if they don't want to.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you do, here it is. But if you don't, good luck to you. We'll help you as much as we can.
That's why we try to give them the resources that if they don't want to be housed, you know, we can give them sleeping bags, stuff to keep them warm. You know, give them a meal. And, you know, a big thing is it's mental health. You know,
that's the huge thing.
A big mental health drug addiction problem here. And I see it firsthand. You know, my clients are, unfortunately, they're good one day, and then they're...
And there's nowhere near the resource to help these folks. Then there's not even I mean, we talk games. We say we should do this, and this is where we really need the money, the investment. The Susan G. Komen thing I keep talking about. We need to be blowing up legislators, both state level, federal level, and saying, look, this is where the money's got to be. Be, you know, mental health, because you want to fix crime, you want to fix homeless, you want to fix food dependency issues, you want to fix all these issues. Fix the mental health, and you'll see a decline in every single one of them. I guarantee.
You know, it's mental health. It just goes back to jail diversion. You know, it's if you can help these people with mental health, if you can help them with their drug addictions, it's going to lead. It's steps. You know, it's going to lead to them getting better.
And I have opinions and things. You know, I mean, unfortunately, the asylum has put a stigma on things, and so no, we don't want the asylum again.
Correct.
But we do want medical facilities that specialize in nothing but treating mental health. No. We don't put them in padded rooms and in straitjackets and whatever that stuff was. But you know what's there? People that know how to deal with people with mental health things when they do get violent. How do we deal with that in not a way that isn't an asylum? We can just still do that. You know what I mean?
You know, the stigma is if
or just drug them into comatose. We can't. You know, that's not the other option either.
If you know, sometimes you see somebody walking down the street and you know they look crazy. You know, so to speak, and you know, what's going to prevent that? You know, or what's going to prevent these people from breaking into houses because they're trying to stay warm? You know,
but you don't know what to trigger it. And that's just it. This is what happens is sometimes these folks get into the reality that's out here is not the reality they're experiencing. And they may be literally thinking you're something else or something different or whatever. And that's what we're talking about. Whether it's through the drugs that are causing this or life experiences or some cocktail thereof, which we gotta unwind all that and figure it out. And that's what we need facilities specialized in doing that, instead of either we'll lock them up until they calm down or drug them until, you know what I mean? We can't do that either. You gotta get and do some science. We gotta, you know, I'm not saying medicines aren't the answer, because sometimes they are, but maybe not always.
Well,
you know?
and you know, the thing about us is when we're out there, you know, we're approachable, you know, and our clients feel comfortable enough to have a conversation, you know, and that's the thing you have to remember is they're people too.
Absolutely.
You know, they're not just, oh my gosh, you know, you're homeless or you're mentally ill, I'm not allowed to talk to you, you know, and that's the stigma that has to be broken, honestly, is have a conversation
Sure.
with this person, talk to them, see what they need.
Sure.
You know,
And I get, like, you know, if you're by yourself on the street,
Yeah,
you see something
yeah,
that's
of
scary,
course.
things like, but you've got to protect you. But at the same time, you know, that's what you're saying,
Yeah.
talking to people, and you know, you realize, and that's just it. Yes, we judge people. You know, you always hear, ever since I was a kid, don't judge a
Yeah.
book by its cover. But that's exactly what we do as humans. Is you look at something, and I'm not saying that's always bad, but when you do that all of the time,
Right.
you're going to miss a lot of opportunities, and once you peel a layer of that onion back a little
Right.
bit, it's, you know, especially homeless people and stuff, because, you know, you're going to get people, especially if you get individuals that are in their 40s, 50s, or up. You really think they've been homeless their whole life?
Right.
No, they've been living their lives and doing, and life put them here.
Right.
You know, some of these folks they could have looked just like you right now.
Oh, yeah.
They could have had, I had a wife and 3 kids, and I had a $100,000 a year job, and you know what I mean? They
Oh, yeah.
you know, that's
You're basically one event away from being that same way.
you don't know what's going on the other side there, and that's what we find out, and you see this moment in time and what they're at and where they're at in time.
Yeah.
And that's just it. This is the human side, and I know we get scared because we want to protect
Right.
ourselves and our own thing, and there is that balance. But this is, you want to know how we fix it? This is food, not bombs. Let
Right.
organization. Okay, maybe you individually shouldn't be going to man camps and handing
Right.
out food, because that could
And
be
that's,
dangerous.
you know, and that's why we kind of put it out there, you know, if you don't feel safe, so to speak, of course, to, you know, approach people by yourself,
Mhm.
come hang out with us.
Yeah.
You know, we're there, our, you know,
You've
people
built
are friendly.
relationships.
Yeah.
You've built that community sense. So when they see you, they know there's no agenda, and that's just it. What you're dealing with is, guess what? You may not understand this, but while you're sitting here building your wall, I'm saying, guess what's going on over there?
Yeah.
Oh man, is that person going to arrest me? Going to beat me? Is that person going to do what to me? They're building up their wall too.
Oh yeah, yeah, and you know it's taken, you know, it wasn't first approachable. We weren't first approachable with our clients because they did think that we were judgy or
Sure.
you know whatever, or asking for paperwork.
There were
or
strings.
IDs and
Yeah.
oh yeah, and you know now with people knowing we're out there, expecting us to be out there, they know, hey, come on. I tell them, come on and eat. You know, don't.
Now you're peeling away the layer of onions, and then the walls, the defenses that maybe initially said they were resistant to getting help,
Yeah.
is now starting to say,
Mhm.
you know what, maybe I will.
Yeah.
See if I can better myself here. You almost have to convince them that you can provide them better.
Oh yeah.
They don't believe you.
Right. And, you know, we also have helped with bus tickets in the past to get people that have wanted to go elsewhere, you know, and I was speaking to a client actually this morning that I helped them get to Albuquerque, and now he's got a job.
Good.
You know, he's had a job for 2 weeks, and, you know, he messaged me and said, hey, you know, I'm staying in a shelter. I got a job, you know, so that's
Starting to put
that's
his life
the kind
back
of
together.
things that
Yeah.
we're trying to reach. Is
Just creating
you know,
that opportunity.
Yeah.
So, man, we've been talking.
Yeah.
So, Food Not Bombs, Roswell Food Not Bombs is the Facebook page for the local chapter here. Make sure you put that Roswell Food Not Bombs. And you can reach out to Jocelyn or any of the volunteers there if you have food to offer or services to offer or money to offer or questions to ask. Or if you're in need, if you're listening and saying, I'm one of those people that need sandwiches, when y'all meeting, please reach out there as well, too. And then, folks, if you've got coats, hats, scarves, gloves, blankets, sleeping bags, any of that stuff, please reach out to Food Not Bombs.
We're still going to be cold all week.
Yeah, it's
you know.
at least through the weekend, our overnight lows are 20s. I think I saw teens one night. And with the moisture on top of that, it's going to make it 10 times
Right.
worse.
And
So-
we'll still, even if it's snowing, we'll still be serving on Friday. So, and handing out
come rain, sleet, or snow, the food will be coming out one way or another.
We may not be at Pioneer, but we'll post about where we'll be.
We may not be picnicking in the park, but we're going to get the food out.
And thanks to Alpha Home Care, Sonia Bolaños has offered her office area on 1210 North Main. If it does snow, we can set up over there. So.
And that's another thing, too. If there's businesses or organizations listening that
please.
can offer facilities for any kinds of things like this, even, dare I say, I know we got what's going on in Westminster, but I'm sure they have to turn people away.
Yeah.
If you have space as well, please reach out to Food Not Bombs, and we would be happy to talk to you about what we can do to help on that. Because that's another thing, too. And the end game, folks, is to have a more permanent facility, what we'd like to call a hive. That's in essence a place where they can house
center,
folks.
Essentially, for
they could house folks.
things.
They could be a mall for like resources for veteran services, healthcare services, whatever, legal services, whatever
services.
services.
Vacant building, please. It doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to be huge. It just needs a place where people can come in, get their mail, get resources, get hot coffee.
Basically, a hub to establish a life. That's kind of what they're trying to do.
And if Albuquerque can have 2 drop-in centers, why can't we have 1?
Yeah. Quite frankly, we probably got more homeless than they do now.
So
it's almost getting to that point. So,
well, thank you, Mike.
Thank you, and thank you, and tell all your volunteers thank you for keep doing their thing. So, we're gonna take a commercial break because I haven't done any of that this hour. So we're gonna take a commercial break before news here. Don't go away.
Hey Roswell, Happy New Year! Roswell Ford has a New Year's resolution you're gonna love. We resolve to sell more new Fords in 2025, so we're gonna make it super fun, super fast, and super easy, just for you. In fact, we'll give you the price we'd give to a friend or family member right up front. So bring us any trade in any condition. Don't even wash it, because at Roswell Ford, all trades are welcome. Making payments on your current vehicle and want out early? We can help. We'll take your trade, even if you owe thousands more than it's worth. Worried about your credit? Don't sweat it. Roswell Ford has partnered with more aggressive lenders, all with great rates and terms for good credit, no credit, and even bad credit, with rates as low as 0% APR. Plus, we have a great selection of low mileage, one-owner pre-owned vehicles, all in prime condition, starting at just $10,000. Huge savings, exceptional trade-in values, and a better buying experience. Get on board at Roswell Ford, 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell, or online at roswellford.com. 0 APR for 48 months is $20.83 per thousand finance, plus tax, title, and license with approved credit.
And good morning.
Strong women need strong partners to help them lead their healthiest lives. At Artesia General Hospital, Dr. Scott Beard and nurse practitioner Lori Crockett deliver compassionate, holistic care to women at every age and stage. From routine checkups to diagnostic testing and specialty services like urogynecology, you can expect the most innovative, personalized care close to home. Learn more about women's services at Artesia General Hospital online at artesiageneral.com/women or by calling 575-736-8394. Many women's services are also offered in Carlsbad.
Hi, I'm Chef Anthony Noble at the Valley Cafe located at 801 West Brasher in Roswell. We want to welcome you for dinner 5 to 8 p.m. weekdays, except Wednesday we close at 2 p.m. If you haven't tried our food yet, I hope you come try one of our dinner entrees, pasta, soups, salads, burgers, and sandwiches, and our weekly specials as well. Let me make you great dinner. Visit the Valley Cafe at 801 West Brasher, the Orange Building across from Church on the Move in Roswell.
Can't see us in person? Find our full menu on DoorDash, Grubhub, and Uber Eats.
Are you looking for something fresh? Or are you trying to find that confident smile you once had? Hi, this is Dr. Sarah Usher with Carabelli Dental, and I would like to invite you to our office to experience a new kind of dentistry. We have the most advanced technology and a highly trained team to provide you the best experience possible. Whether you're looking for a bright new smile or just want to make sure everything checks out for the best, call us today and set up your appointment for your next great experience.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental at the corner of 9th and Main in Roswell, or call 575-622-4455.
Central Valley Electric is continually learning and advancing technology that improves electric service, reliability, and safety, and in turn enhancing the quality of life for members that we serve in our local communities. CVE offers an account management program called Smart Hub that allows members to track their usage, set up convenient pay methods, and the ability to manage their energy use with smart technologies. A secure system such as Smart Hub is an easy tool to use. To sign up, visit cvecoop.org and click Smart Hub to get started.
quote once that said, "When you blame others, you give up your power to change." Hi, this is Pastor Troy and Julie Smotherman for The Joy of Marriage.
We all want to play the victim at times. It even feels good to feel sorry for ourselves. But that puts a lid on our life. It stunts our growth, it damages our marriages, and if you have children, it can even hurt them.
It can seem like a daunting task to take responsibility for our actions. But the Bible says in Philippians 4:13, we can do everything through Christ who gives us strength.
If you've never experienced the love of God, and you don't know your true potential and don't realize how good God is, when you're feeling like a victim, turn to God. He'll give you the strength to move beyond yourself and help you have a victorious marriage.
If you have any questions or would like further information about the Joy of Marriage Ministry, please go to jomconference.com.
The octopus and the squid both have 3 hearts. That's why they eat so many Tums. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. We are closing in on 9 o'clock. Stay tuned next hour. Here about 9:15 or so, we're going to play an interview we had with Doug Weiser. He's president of the board there at the Walker Aviation Museum. And he joined us for a great conversation yesterday. They're not quite open yet. They're flooding and all there, but they're hoping in a couple weeks here they should be back open and everything else here. So, but we got an update from Doug, so we'll play that for you next hour. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell Talk FM. We'll be back on the other side of news.
Clyde Lewis and Ground Zero is now in Roswell on 106.5 FM. KEND Roswell.
This hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. The Israeli Defense Minister says the military has recovered the bodies of 2 more hostages who had been held by Hamas in Gaza. Both males and men were taken captive during the Hamas attack on Israel in October 2023. Several big wildfires continue raging in the Los Angeles area, burning thousands of acres, chasing thousands of people from their homes, leaving many houses and other buildings in ruins.
One fire swiftly consumed a large part of the Pacific Palisades neighborhood, sending residents fleeing down the clogged Pacific Coast Highway. Resident actor Steve Guttenberg was urging people who abandoned their cars to leave their keys behind so that they could be moved. And President Biden had to cancel a planned event in Riverside County due to the wildfire threat.
Correspondent Lisa Dwyer says a huge fire also burns in the Altadena, Pasadena area. Meanwhile, in parts of the Deep South, extreme cold has been the issue today. Donald Trump's lawyers want the Supreme Court to put a stop to the sentencing in his New York criminal case.
Sentencing is scheduled for Friday in New York for Trump's conviction last May on 34 felony counts in the Stormy Daniels case. The president-elect's lawyers are asking the Supreme Court for an immediate stay, while a Trump spokesman called for the case to be dismissed. The High Court wants a response from the Manhattan District Attorney's Office by Thursday morning.
White House correspondent Craig Clugston. President-elect Trump is once again stressing the importance of Greenland and the Panama Canal to U.S. economic and national security. Meanwhile, the Danish Prime Minister insisting that Greenland is not for sale. Mr. Trump suggests renaming the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America, exclaiming, "What a beautiful name." On Wall Street, the Dow down 27 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Hey everybody, Charlie Kirk.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
Rescue efforts are ongoing following a powerful earthquake that rocked Tibet.
Rescue workers in the freezing high-altitude Tibet region are searching for more survivors and victims, one day after a strong earthquake leveled thousands of houses and killed at least 126 people. Tents, quilts and other relief items were being delivered to people whose homes are uninhabitable or unsafe. Temperatures fell well below freezing overnight in the western China region. The earthquake struck a city which is about 50 miles from Mount Everest and the border with Nepal. I'm Karen Shamas.
The Ukrainian military says it struck a fuel storage depot deep inside Russia. The strike caused a huge blaze at the facility that supplies an important Russian air base. Russian officials acknowledge a major drone attack in the area, and they say authorities set up an emergency command center to fight the fire. Breaking news and analysis at townhall.com. Some leading Democrats enter the new Congress under scrutiny for what many see as their deception about President Biden's mental fitness over the past 2 years.
Democrats and members of the mainstream media may be among the most suspicious of Democrat leaders, like Charles Schumer, after feeling they were duped by claims Biden was mentally fit to start another 4-year term at age 82. It was Schumer who, in February of last year, chalked up concerns about Biden's mental capacity to what he called right-wing propaganda. One anonymous Democrat senator told The Hill the apparent cover-up gave Democrat opponents an opening to tag the entire party as corrupt. Bob Agnew reporting.
Former President Carter's body lies in state in the U.S. Capitol Rotunda ahead of tomorrow's state funeral at Washington National Cathedral. President-elect Trump says he plans to attend the funeral. Quoting Mr. Trump, the challenges Jimmy faced as president came at a pivotal time for our country. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
Your SRN program begins in 10 seconds.
I forgot to do that, apparently.
Forgot to remind you. It's both our bads.
Hopefully that won't happen next Wednesday. I'll remember between now and then. Good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3 of Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Only update to the delay list. It doesn't really impact people so much in town here, but Ruidoso schools are now closed.
Are closed.
Yeah, I just saw a thing on Facebook about a minute ago.
So the storm's getting worse.
From Ruidoso schools saying that they are now closed. Didn't say anything about the courts there, but the schools. But everything else is still 2 hour delay, 10 o'clock openings or whatever.
So if you got court today, it's delayed a bit, but it's still on.
Yeah.
For now.
Although I have seen reports of the roads between Hidden South, some slick and few accidents and things.
Yeah.
Check NM Roads website, nmroads.com, or download the NM Roads app for your smart teles, and that way you can stay abreast. Those weather delays or traffic delays.
Yes, it does look like the clouds are starting to break up just a little bit. I can see some blue.
It is looking a little clearer out there.
A little blue in the sky, but don't let that fool you. It's still freezing out there.
It is. Yeah, or a high today is like 35.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be warm. If you're waiting for warm, you ain't getting it today.
Keep on waiting. Best we can hope for is a break in the freeze.
No, Saturday it'll be like 50. That'll be your warm.
Yeah.
But then it's back down in the 40s.
It's downright shorts weather.
But as far as weather goes, I think that as far as snow and stuff, we're probably going to see that being tapered off for the day and all that. So the day will begin shortly for most people.
Yeah. There you go, kids. You got your winter wonderland. It just came 2 weeks and 3 days too late.
Yeah.
Well, like 2 weeks too late.
Well,
technically, yeah, exactly 2 weeks too late. Huh. Wow.
Thunk it. But it's kind of funny you'd mentioned earlier because it is also early release day for. Is that all or just elementary and middle?
It's just elementary, not even middle.
Just elementary. Okay.
Yeah, I thought it was middle too until I got one.
Until you got one that's
there.
not middle. I said, no, you're here all day. How did Rhiannon take that?
She was actually good with it. Yeah, she adjusted to the schedule pretty easily.
Yeah, so for elementary kids, it's kind of a real short day. They'll come in at 10 and be done by 1:15 or 1:30 or whatever it is.
Here, kid, here's a cracker packet. Let's do some math real quick. Get you back on the bus.
That's right. So probably a quick turnaround day for the elementary school.
Have you ever had? Now I know that given what we do for a living, people generally expect us to be able to talk good.
What?
Like, one of the things with my kid's mom is I was always the one that had to make the doctor's appointments or like the schedule or whatever because I'm the one that talks.
Right.
But have you ever had one of those moments where your whole brain just stops working?
Oh yeah.
Right in the middle of leaving a voicemail.
Yeah.
That you can't re-record. I was calling my daughter into school today, and literally I forgot the name of her teacher. And I'm like, Mrs. Oh, and I forgot the word brain fart. I kept one of those brain. I kept wanting to say aneurysms.
All right,
but that's not it.
If Rhiannon's teacher could send me that message, I would love to hear it.
Well, and it's funny because I came around, I was like, it's Mrs. Compost at the end, and then I even said on the voicemail, we got there in the end.
If you could just find it my way, reach out.
When we know people at the top.
Yeah.
Brian, if you could get your people on it.
I just want to hear it. I just want to hear it. Just see what's going on there.
Just want to hear Sean Tank.
I feel like there's a lot of gold nuggets right there.
Yeah, that was certainly a moment.
Teacher lady, my kid, you know her.
Mrs.
That one I got.
Well, and that's the thing, though.
For better brain freeze.
For better or for worse, my daughter's already sort of made a name for herself at that school, so I don't have to necessarily know her teacher. I just say Rhiannon's not going to be there, and they'll get the message to who needs to hear it.
It's down to one name now. One Rhiannon. They don't have to do anything else. Madonna.
Yeah.
But
infamy, it turns out, is fame.
There is something to that.
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, if you please, I really would like to hear that. I'm not joking. That would be fun.
I'll see what I can do to track it down.
That could be fun.
Yeah. Yep. Turns out even the pro talkers can't talk sometimes.
Well, you hear me. They do pay me, and I talk awful. It's funny. People like, it's really weird. Because my wife says I mumble and everything else. But then I get people like, you certainly do have a radio voice. I'm like, thanks.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means, but thanks. Because I hear voice for radio and I hear face for not TV.
Mm-hmm. The worst is you find out the worst attributes about yourself when your kids do it, and you're like, oh, that's why.
Yeah.
Because like my son, he'll mumble and face away from me, so I can't even like look at his mouth to kind of act like I know what he's saying. So yeah, I'm like, Hunter, turn around, speak up, enunciate.
Mm-hmm. And I think I do mumble more when I'm off air. I'm not gonna lie. And my brother is a worse mumbler than I am.
Yeah.
And my wife has told me, like, when y'all talk, I miss 99% of it because y'all, and maybe part of it might be me and my brother, and we talk to each other our whole lives, and so we kind of,
you're used to the certain cadence.
Yeah, we kind of know what he's thinking, and he vice versa. So it's kind of, so it's probably some of that going on. But my brother does mumble. I ain't gonna lie. There's times he's like, what?
Yeah. I was a mumbly kid, but I was also a really fast talking kid. Part of that I attributed to I would have to, like, anything I wanted to say to my dad, I would have to get it in the, like, breaths he would take between his statements. So I just learned to kind of get the message in quick.
Slip it in.
But then also I was a mumbler, so it didn't come across well at all. I was just like, the Micro Machines guy, but hiding in the back of the room. I
haven't heard that reference in years. Micro Machine.
I'm just gonna be here in the corner having some snacks. What did you say? About snacks?
That's where pennies were useful. When the Micro Machines one, you put the penny in the back?
I don't think those were Micro Machines.
No, they weren't. Those were different ones.
Those were. I think they were just called penny racers.
Were those like the GoBots of Micro Machines?
I think those were just called penny racers. Let me look it up. I'm curious.
Back when a penny was useful,
right?
You put in the back of your toy, and it would race.
So penny racers game. Yeah, these are just. Yeah, they're little. They kind of look like Micro Machines. In fairness, they're real tiny.
In my head, they're the same.
And you just you stick a penny in the back, and that's, I guess, what kicks it off.
Yeah, it kind of made the wheelie. Or something.
No, yeah, it's a trickster. So yeah, it makes it wheelie.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah,
y'all had some neat toys back in the day. You old farts had some neat toys.
Yeah, well, I mean, they were more dangerous. I mean, we didn't have all the high-tech, highfalutincy of the toys of today.
We didn't have tech to work with, so we had to find our way, which is funny. I watched this series now. It's like a podcast, and basically they point out all of the 80s and 90s practical effects in movies that you didn't really catch. Is like they were doing Honey, I Blew Up the Kid.
Okay.
And there's a scene where you see the toddler who's giant, and what's supposed to be Rick Moranis looking up at him with his hands on his hips.
I kind of remember that, yeah.
It's a puppet.
Ooh, the baby?
I didn't even know the Rick Moranis
is a puppet.
I didn't even realize until they go back and they like go shot like frame by frame. It's a Rick Moranis puppet that they're like ventriloquisting off.
I hope Rick got
scene.
to keep that. Like, I hope in like his closet of collectibles, there's the Rick Moranis puppet from Honey, I Blew Up the Kids, or Shrunk the Kids, or whatever what it's from.
When I was a kid and Honey, I Shrunk the Kids came out, I was fascinated by all the big stuff because it was right around the same time that like Mario 3 had come out, and they had World 4 was the big world where everything was. So I was kind of obsessed with giant things. I always wanted to try a giant Oreo. How they like dig into the cream. It looked so good.
Yeah.
I've been chasing that Oreo dragon for the entirety of my life.
I wouldn't mind a cereal pool soup thing. That would be kind of like floating in some Cheerios. That'd be kind of neat.
I don't want to be. Yeah, if I ever hit the lottery, I'm not going to tell anybody, but there'll be signs. just a giant cereal bowl in my yard.
You should see the box of Cocoa Puffs it takes to fill this thing.
I'm still going Malto Meal cereals though. Choco Dino Bits.
Kicks. Come on.
Did you fill that with Fiber One?
Right.
Hey, getting a kickstart on it.
All right. Those toasted oat squares would kill you though, because my jaw hurts after a little bowl.
Well, not to mention they'd cut you up something fierce.
Yeah, those wouldn't be pleasant.
They were sharp.
Maybe something with more marshmallows. Some Lucky Charms, maybe.
Sean jumped into a giant bowl of Captain Crunch. He didn't make it out.
That's right.
He bled out. Took one to the femoral artery. That's all it took.
Should have stuck with Cream of Wheat. All right, we ought to get the hour going.
On that note.
Cream of Wheat. We're gonna, like I said, we're gonna play our interview we have with Doug from the Walker Aviation Museum here in just a bit. But before we do that, here is your weather. It's gonna be cold.
Yep.
That's really what it is. It's gonna be cold.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Some snow showers rolling through today. We have a low-pressure system moving in from southern Arizona. Pretty cool. We'll stay in the mid-30s. Little bit of accumulation possible, maybe an inch or so, and we'll stay cloudy. A few snow showers or flurries overnight with low 20s, and then more snow showers popping up on Thursday. Afternoon highs in the mid-30s to about 40. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 28 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 81%. Winds are calm at the moment. We do have a winter advisory, that winter weather advisory that remains in effect until noon today. Partly cloudy, 35 our expected high today, so it's not going to warm up much. East winds at around 5 miles per hour. They will shift to the south later today. Tonight, mostly cloudy, an overnight low of 21 degrees. Winds will be out of the south at around 5 miles per hour. Thursday, we are looking at a 40% chance at some snow showers before 5 p.m. Then we're seeing a chance of a rain-snow mix after 5. Mostly cloudy for the day. 37 are high on Thursday tomorrow. South winds 5 to 10 early. In the afternoon, increasing 15 to 20 out of the north. So we'll get a little breezy for the afternoon. They are expecting less than a half an inch of snow tomorrow. Tomorrow night, we are looking at a 30% chance of a rain-snow mix early, then after 8, changing back over to snow. Cloudy. Expect early, then gradually clearing with an overnight low of 24 degrees. Winds will be out of the north at around 15 miles per hour. They don't talk much about accumulations there. Friday, sunny. 40 for a high. No talk of moisture. North winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Saturday, sunny and 55. And then 20% chance of snow showers before 11 on Sunday morning. Partly cloudy and 45 for a high on Sunday. And then looks like upper 40s to start the work week next week. All right, it is 19 minutes after 9 o'clock. We're going to take a quick commercial break. Then we're going to play our interview with Doug Weiser from the Walker Aviation Museum. Don't go away.
Hey, Roswell, Happy New Year. Roswell Ford has a New Year's resolution you're going to love. We resolve to sell more new Fords in 2025, so we're going to make it super fun, super fast, and super easy, just for you. In fact, we'll give you the price we'd give to a friend or family member right up front. So bring us any trade in any condition. Don't even wash it, because at Roswell Ford, all trades are welcome. Making payments on your current vehicle and want out early? We can help. We'll take your trade, even if you owe thousands more than it's worth. Worried about your credit? Don't sweat it. Roswell Ford has partnered with more aggressive lenders, all with great rates and terms for good credit, no credit, and even bad credit, with rates as low as 0% APR. Plus, we have a great selection of low mileage, one-owner pre-owned vehicles, all in prime condition, starting at just $10,000. Huge savings, exceptional trade-in values, and a better buying experience. Get on board at Roswell Ford, 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell, or online at roswellford.com. 0 APR for 48 months is $20.83 per thousand finance, plus tax, title, and license with approved credit.
Artesia General Hospital's Rehabilitation Center is here to help you recover and get back to the activities you love. Rehabilitation services include physical, occupational, and speech therapy, all led by experienced, licensed therapists. From symptom management to patient education, customized home exercise programs, and family support, Artesia General Hospital's integrated approach to rehabilitation is designed to facilitate your best possible recovery so you can get back to work, back to play, and back to life. Learn more at artesiageneral.com/rehab or by calling 575-736-8174.
Are you ready to succeed? At ENMU Roswell, they cater to your educational needs. Their dedicated facilities and faculties provide you with an exceptional learning experience. From academic programs to behavioral sciences, business, health education, or technical education, ENMU Roswell offers a wide variety of certifications and degree programs designed to take your education and experience to the next level. Register now on campus or online at roswell.enmu.edu. Eastern New Mexico University, Roswell. Success starts here.
Our lives run on energy every day. And every day, your friends and neighbors at New Mexico Gas Company safely deliver reliable, affordable, essential energy to New Mexicans. The kind of energy that brings families together, that surrounds us in comfort, the energy that warms homes and hearts. We're New Mexico Gas Company, and every day we deliver the energy that's behind some of the warmest moments in your life. That's why we're here.
The tool used to measure your feet at the shoe store is called a Brannock device. The person that measures your feet at home for no reason is called a creep with a foot fetish. Here's Mike Winters.
Joining us. And good morning. It is 22 minutes after 7 o'clock. And joining us in studio this morning from the Walker Aviation Museum, of course, president of the board. The board of directors there of the Walker Aviation Museum, Doug Weiser, with us this morning. Good morning, Doug.
Good morning.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas. I did.
Merry Christmas. I haven't seen you in a couple months.
Robert kept giving you a hard time every time he'd come on, saying, "No, I think he's."
We figured we'd let him sleep in this morning. God bless you, Robert.
There you go.
Wherever you are.
That's right. That's right. Doug makes up for it by since he has a few connections with the restaurant, and he just brings a brings a few steaks or some sandwiches to a meeting, and all is right in the world.
Gift cards help it out.
That's right. Can grease the wheels real nice there. So, of course, folks not familiar, the Walker Aviation Museum is located in the air terminal here at the Roswell Air Center, and it is a museum honoring the history of the military base that was initially called Roswell Army Airfield, later changed to Walker Air Force Base. Also pays homage to our role during the Cold War era with those first generation ICBMs, Roswell area.
Correct.
Called called those first generation
series.
homes. Those early generations, those ones that they said, wow, we got a few, we proof of concept. But we got some things we got to figure out first before we perfect these.
And when people are driving in, they'll probably see those silos. They're 25 miles away from Roswell, and they're surrounded in Roswell.
Yeah.
And they were placed in the 50s, and there was a start of basically the escalation of the Cold War. They were the precursors to what's going on now with all the ICBMs and different things like that.
Yeah, these first generation,
protecting and everything like that.
Up in Los Alamos, they're proving the boom happens. Well, now down here, they're proving that this is the vessel to get the boom to where it needs to get to.
So it's this escalation is starting again. Unfortunately, but the Atlas was the first, and they had problems with. And it's interesting because it has problems with the fuel, and they had some mishaps. In fact, there's going to be a couple monuments placed in February.
Okay.
And we're going to have a ceremony for those people that died, not only with the construction of the silos, but some mishaps later.
Those refuel tragedies that happened.
That people lost their lives. So
how they found out that there's a problem was in silos in Roswell and places just like it. That's how they learned.
Unfortunately. Yeah. And it's that'll happen on the 8th of February, I believe.
Are they going to do that like out at the air?
They're going to be right in front of the Air Center.
Awesome. Very cool.
Yeah. There's also some commemorative monuments out there now. There'll be more commemorating those people that worked within construction of and within the silos.
Yeah. Well, you don't realize how much dangerous work all facets of it because you think about it. These aren't just little holes they're digging. This ain't like without they're drilling they're building basically an underground base.
Yeah, people live there.
People live down there, and so and that's a lot of engineering, which means it's no different than when you hear of stories of them building like the Golden Gate Bridge and how many or the Empire State Building, how many construction workers perished, during that same. No different here with these silos.
Oh, great analogy.
Yeah.
They perished building those and basically banning those. And but it's we're just honoring that because that is part of the legacy of Roswell.
Absolutely.
And we have one of the greatest facilities out there still. That runway is still it's great enough to bring the air races.
Absolutely.
From Reno to Roswell.
And I don't know all the details, but that runway out there, like pilots have to get qualified, rated on to land on and take off from certain runways. And that runway is one of the few that qualifies them for one. And I don't know the exactness, but
it still does.
Yeah.
The length and depth of that runway is I believe, second or third in the world.
Yeah, it's a big one.
Guam being the number one. But airlines do touch and goes out there. We have the military. Navy comes and visits, spends a lot of time out there. We get a lot of people from the military that still visit our museum.
And that's the fun part.
Oh, yeah. And I might have to mention our museum right now because of the flood.
It's been closed.
It's been closed this month. We're excited. This month is we're going to get some carpet. Much same kind of carpet that you have
The
in
high
here.
traffic stuff here.
You know that
we're good at wearing things out, so we put the test stamp on this. Pretty good stuff.
So we're going to get some of this, and we're supposed to be done about the same time next time I see you. So we're going to be
fingers
open.
crossed.
Keep fingers crossed. We are generally open Monday through Friday. We catch the people before the flights.
Yeah.
Flights coming in. We're there from about 9:30, 12:30, and
around
Monday
the
to Friday.
trying to work around the airline schedule there during the lunch hour when people are frequenting or waiting around the airport there. It's like, hey, why you got a few minutes?
Yeah.
Before you go through TSA, there, come spend a few minutes in our museum here. So.
And they do other waiting. I mean, it's
that's how you get the most foot traffic is people coming or going.
We do.
Basically.
We do. We had a great museum day for all the Roswell museums.
And it sounds like that was a big success, and look for the third annual of that coming here in 2025.
And they get bigger and better every year. And,
but and here's the thing too. Right now, like you said, they work that schedule here. However, people say, well, I'm sure you get, well, why can't you be open more and things like that? And the trick is we'd love to, but we need volunteers. And
correct.
You only have a few loyal docents that are able to donate time, but like I said, they have lives, they have families, they have other things they want to do. So they can only work a few hours a week or whatever. But if we have a few more volunteers, more hands make less work. We get another 10, 12 volunteers. Everyone work a couple hours a day, and next thing you know, we're open 8 to 5 Monday through Friday or whatever hours happen there.
We'd love to have Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
mean, it's 7 days a week. It's nice to have that kind of coverage.
Yeah,
but we're all volunteer.
Absolutely, and so they need more volunteers, and so if you're looking to get involved in 2025 and trying to pick, your passion projects, your things. Maybe hanging out at the Walker Aviation Museum's your thing. Coming there and sharing our history and learning it too.
Yes.
You don't have to be an expert to volunteer. Come in and it'll kind of rub off on you as you hang out there. And
you'll be amazed at what you learn, especially about Roswell.
Sure. And another thing we haven't really talked about that I know Robert we like to focus on each time too is the other facet of the museum is really inspiring youth to go into STEM-related career fields. Correct. Obviously, aviation side is a big one here, but STEM is they don't just promote aviation STEM jobs. It's STEM jobs. You through the Walker Aviation website, you could learn about pretty much every STEM-related career field in Southeast New Mexico right now. So.
And I spoke to somebody. There's a nursing program out of Eastern that shares the base property with us. And she became an aviation, a flight nurse, based on what she
all through the portal of the museum.
Yeah, museum. Walker Aviation was part of that.
That's cool. And by the way, if you have a youth group or anything like that, looking for an opportunity to take a field trip or get involved, please reach out. Now they work best with like a group of about 8 kids, but if it's bigger, they can kind of have them and then kind of one group will do these things while the other group does these things, but not too bigger groups, but anything up to 20 maybe. I'm thinking somewhere in that
separate.
ballpark. Yeah,
and we do different things with different groups. And if you make a reservation, you call, make an appointment with us. We accommodate you with flight simulators, different things like that. They get to review different careers in the aviation fields. Or any other field for that matter.
Absolutely.
And that's important to youth. I know I was into my 20s well before I looked at a list. These are all the things you could do.
Yeah.
And it's important that.
Be honest, the military helped me with that one a little bit.
Oh,
you got in, and you're like, man, look at all these, and like I'll load bombs.
That's important. People use that to go into aviation.
Absolutely.
People use that to go into IT. People go in radio. They go on the radio.
Put it this way, and this is something I kind of, when I have the folks from Eastern New Mexico University on, which you guys have partnered and done things with many times over the years. Of course, they have an excellent aviation, maintenance program over there.
One of the best.
And you can get your to be an airline mechanic, it's what you call the A&P license.
A&P, A&E.
Yeah, airframe, and it's all acronyms. Yes. But basically, that's your ticket to once you have that certification. There's going to be airline industry related jobs lining up at your door because they're in desperate demand for people of that quality skill. Now, there's really two ways. You go to Eastern and get it. The other one is you sign up with Uncle Sam and end up in the Navy or the Air Force or the Marines, I guess. Yes. And you're turning wrenches on aircraft.
Yeah, there is. I mean, that's the way to do it. I mean, I know probably 100 people in my lifetime that have said that.
Oh, yeah. And that's kind of now, I was a weapons troop, which meant my translation in the civilian world was luggage handler. Now, that's not entirely true, but, because I worked on weapon systems and had to turn wrenches too, but they don't hand me an A&P license when I get out like a crew chief.
No. You like them to.
Yeah, but I don't do nearly what the crew chief did too. I mean, I'm not crawling through intakes. I'm not, I was knee deep in some hydraulic fluid here and there, but
it would be nice if they handed that to you.
Yeah.
Here you go. You did your 4 years or 3 years. Here you go.
Absolutely. But once you have that, you really and your earning income potential is very you really do set your foundation for a very strong whatever you want to do with your family or how you want to take that. And so I highly recommend for kids looking that are mechanically inclined, go to the museum and read more about jobs in the industry. But once you're there, go sign up at Eastern for their airline maintenance program and get you A&P license.
Yeah, I know. I know individuals. Steve Schaefer. He was he just retired from Northwestern. It's called something else now. He lives up in Minnesota. He was the head of maintenance there, and then retired as a vice president in charge of maintenance. And he had an A&P. Mm-hmm. So started out with 2 years certificate, and that was it.
It's something that can be very useful in that world. But again, when we're hearing hopefully this time next month, come by the museum. Well, you can come and learn more about all what that involves and all what life as an airframe mechanics just like here.
Yes.
But that and many other jobs here too.
Oh, definitely. STEM is where to go.
Yeah, and of course, and they also have stuff for younger kids too. So the Jacob's ladder, so like the basics of electricity and stuff. So there's really fun stuff from your 7-8-year-olds to your 17-18-year-olds.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in that 2,300.
And like you mentioned, the flight simulator too. There is a full flight simulator that's operational that you can actually start earning your seat time, flying time through that simulator if you're trying to get your license to become a pilot. Yeah. And that's it. So it's legitimate, real. This isn't a video game. This is the actual same simulators that pilots train on in the military, in the civilian world, and every other else. It's stick and rudder in it.
Yeah, it's a great introduction in ground school. Yep. It really is if you want to become a pilot.
Yeah, and you can fly everything from the biggest of airplanes to the military aircraft. You can be whipping around an F-16 out there.
You can pick your style, definitely.
But again, all of this is through the umbrella of the museum, so we'd love to invite people to come and check it out, be a part of it here. And of course, if you want to volunteer and get more involved, because that's I'm sure that's something you could probably use at every level, from board members to volunteers in the actual museum to folks that maybe love to archive and category, you know what I mean? Do the kind of the behind the scenes grunt work of maintaining a museum.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Stop by and see us. Stop by and see us, or just call us at 575-755 and 8723.
Very good. Yeah. And you can also check out the website, www.wafbmuseum.org. That's short for Walker Air Force Base Museum. So if you're like, just Walker Air Force Base Museum. Yeah. So you can do that. There you can learn about everything we just talked about here, including, all that. Matter of fact, you can kind of start your STEM journey on the website without even having to set foot in the museum right now, which is really the only resource here for the next couple of weeks anyway. But that way, if you want to get started, if we've kind of sparked that nugget in your head here, go to the museum website there and start kind of just, get lost, peruse around and start clicking tabs and start reading about the various careers. But there's tons of videos and all types of different media there, to everything from military history to the latest and greatest in cutting-edge STEM technology career fields.
Yeah, there's something for everybody.
Yeah. And the other thing, we always talk about volunteers and all that, but the bucks are needed to keep the doors open too. Financially, there is a donate now button there on the website. That would be a great way for you to help out with. There is no charge to get into the museum, but they do ask for a donation if you can manage it.
We are a nonprofit.
Yeah, it's a nonprofit, so everything goes to. The city cuts them a deal on the building there, but, they still have expenses and things and really no income other than donations to pay for those.
The
So
city's great to us.
So we do appreciate, if you can help support financially there too. And it's a 501c3. So if you're looking for tax write-offs, 'tis the season you're saying, oh man, I didn't donate enough. Well, don't make that same mistake twice. The museum will be happy to help you out there.
It will.
Oh man, there's something I kind of wanted you to kind of share, because I know you've probably experienced it here too. And this is one of the cool things about volunteering at the museum and being or if you want to be a docent or something. Something I've always heard from Robert and from other folks over the years that we've talked to is that experience when you do get visitors that come and they're from out of town, but it's usually if it's not the direct veteran or the direct fam, it's like a son or daughter.
It's awesome.
And they were here not as the service member, but as the child of. And so they grew up as a kid, on the base there. I mean, you get those kind of stories. Have you ever had to experience those? Is it kind of working?
You don't only get that in the museum, but you get it in the business I'm in. I run into people all the time that have something to do with aviation, pilots or something like that.
Right.
I've met people that are flying out through going to Dubai.
Okay.
Or transferring a plane or something like that, or they have a father or a mother that they didn't grow up here, but before they were born, their parent was stationed here.
So like a generation even down the line here.
And
we're all getting older. We forget that there's more of those now.
There's grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and different things like that. But they'll sit there and say, hey, my uncle was stationed here. My grandfather was there. My great-grandfather was stationed here. It's great. And it's great to hear that, because especially people that were raised on the base.
Sure.
That just forever, albeit a brief time, they'll sit there and talk about with fond memories.
Yeah.
That this, somebody pointed out to me that Sidney Gutierrez School, well, that's the old officers club. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting when you're in there, you notice there's still things that are from the base.
And that's kind of the uniqueness of that part of the town here is for people that served in the military, you look and that's still from the days of the military. I mean, you can just tell, for folks that have served or were, lived on base or no base life, you look and you say, yep, that's how military base looks. It don't matter if it's an Army base, Navy base, Marine base, Air Force base. They all have a certain, some may have anchors, some will have planes on sticks, but the buildings all look the same.
There's an original hangar there. There's a lot of different things.
And so that's kind of the uniqueness of some of that. Now, it's good and bad, because it also means that you realize some of those buildings are so old.
Yes. And they are so old.
That they were built by Uncle Sam in the military days, which was probably in the 40s.
World War II was a big motivator for a lot of that construction.
And that's something for folks that didn't grow up in the area here too. When we talk about, we talked about the Atlas missiles, we talked about, but the role that this base served during World War II, odds are pretty good. If you served in a bomber crew in World War II, you probably spent some boots on the ground in Roswell, New Mexico, training for your job.
Yeah, you came through here.
Yeah, that's and and I've told this story. I can't remember if you were talking about it. I told it with Robert. One time, if you ever get a chance, if you go down to the Boneyard in Arizona there in Tucson, the Pima, I don't remember what the term of it all, but it's the Boneyard.
The Boneyard.
They have great museums and things in there too, but there's one hangar wing that's dedicated to the B-17, and they've got a polished up B-17 in there, and really cool. But the walls of the hangar, and it's a 2-story hangar, are almost lined from floor to ceiling, and this is huge, with nothing but not 8x10, but 5x7s of bomber crews, B-17 bomber crews, and they've literally lined. I mean, there must be thousands of these pictures on the wall. You know the one I'm talking about? That one hits me every time, and that's one because I think of that. I'm like, man, how many of these people were in Roswell, New Mexico during World War? And so that's I always put that connection together when I walked in there and saw that. So
it was a phenomenal.
Yeah, but it just and so you don't realize that. Put it this way: if you watch that it's a pretty cool show if you haven't on Apple Plus called Masters of the Air.
Oh yeah,
it is a wonderful. By far, as far as life inside a bomber during a run, I think that they've depicted the real the most accurate I think that could possibly be given in that thing. Like there's a scene where the guy. Because you forget the temperatures up there, and the guy's the tail gunner, and he's looking at something to write, so he takes his glove off. But then a German plane comes in, so he has to grab the gun, but he did it barehanded, and frostbite froze his hand to the gun.
Yeah,
and
I mean, there's a lot of things you don't know, like the bomb sites.
Yeah,
if a plane was hit, they had to destroy the bomb site.
That was top secret technology.
Northern bomb site.
That bomb site, the bombardier and all that those were, and the price for capturing a bombardier because of knowledge of that thing was highly, highly. You don't realize that some of that. It's things like, you talk about the German Enigma machine. People, well, that bomb site was on that level of secrecy and things because kind of like the British radar stuff that was going on at that time, very top secret, very top secret. Yeah. But anyway, we get sidetracked.
But it's all relative. It's all relative. I mean, just like Walker Air Force Base, it was there, during the crash landing of the aliens.
That's right.
1947, they took it, That was a big thing.
Although the generals and any of the military personnel that you read about in the UFO museum right up the street here, they were all the officers and the folks that ran Walker at that time. Well, it'd have been Roswell Airfield at that time, but yes,
RAF. And
then of course, if you want to learn the history of why it changed its name to Walker Air Force Base and the man that honors, that's a great. Fun story in and of itself.
He's a great hero.
Yeah, he is. Generally, when you see a military Air Force base named after someone, odds are pretty good that that's a general or someone that's done some pretty great things as a U.S. Air Force.
They're generally named after somebody. Mather McClellan.
Yeah, a lot of World War II pilots that were generals and did things that they were probably not. Shouldn't have been doing, but did because that's the kind of men they were. A lot of Doolittles out there. But if you'd love to volunteer, please check out the website. Kind of do some reading and reach out. How often does the board meet and everything, Joe?
We meet every month now.
Okay.
We have a lot to do. Obviously, we'll have a lot to do this month.
As you're getting ready to reopen here.
Putting the museum back together. Who knows?
Which means could use more volunteers. Maybe that's your foot in the door.
More volunteers. We have some great ones.
Got some dusting, some cleaning to do.
That'll put computers back together, find simulators back together, different things like that. But it's amazing collectively what we get being a nonprofit with the volunteers. Right now, it's a few, the proud, the brave. We're just like the Marines.
Sure.
There's not many of us, but
they're strong.
We put it back together, and people get interested. We do have people that attend our board meetings that contribute when they need to contribute.
Sure. Well, a lot of the folks on the board, they can't necessarily sit in volunteer, but they can support
Correct.
Financially through their various jobs and stuff, supporting in various ways. I know some of the people on the board
to a lot of different places, educationally. So the youth of Roswell knows where we've been, where we're headed, and that it's still viable. It's become more viable each month, each week. For the youth of Roswell and the people of Roswell, what it means, what legacy and
absolutely,
yeah.
People. It's that thing I say every time. It's like, come for the aliens and stay for the rest of the history. Here. That's the aliens get your foot in the door, but then learn that the other roles that this community has served our nation in various ways, shapes, and forms.
We're here to
from cheese to military.
We're here to educate and inspire. All generations.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Definitely. That's our mission statement.
So for the best we can do right now is check out the website. Come there and start reading that. Please reach out if you'd like to volunteer. Like I said, we're going to be doing some cleanup here soon. Yes. So if you'd love to get involved that way, here's a cool part. If you love artifacts, history, if you love seeing books and memorabilia, they have a little bit of that stuff at the museum. They're kind of known for that kind of thing. So it's kind of neat. I know over the years, Robert or some other people brought stuff in, and I've seen some really cool books. Like there was a fair book from like the 1940s or 50s in there. I don't remember. That was really cool to see. And you saw the military base connections to that and how even at the fair and stuff, the Roswell or Walker was part of the community there and part of
it's a museum. I mean, but it's relevant today.
Absolutely.
And it's a great place to learn about what Roswell is and what it's going to be too.
Yeah, and that's just it. The museum certainly covers the nuts and bolts that everyone loves, like what aircraft were here and the bombs and what wings were and all that. But it also covers the human, the life. The baseball team. Here's memorabilia from that, or here's some dances at the NCO club, or here's life in the barracks, and here's this is what it was like in these different time periods.
Yeah, from the balls to the bowling leagues.
Yeah,
I mean,
even furniture. Like I think you got some those old military desks that they ain't much for beauty, but for durability, you could survive a bomb in those things. They're pretty to look at, but they're sturdier than all get out. Good luck moving.
We're going to put that stuff back in?
That's right. But we need help and some strong backs here. By the way, that was my reminder. We need some strong backs to help out there. But again, check out the website, www.wafbmuseum.org, and you'll find everything there. Also, there is a Facebook page as well, just Walker Aviation Museum, something like that on Facebook. Do that in the search. It should pop right up there, too. So. Yeah. And then remind everybody the date that they're going to do the dedication of the...
I believe February 8th.
Okay, so hopefully...
10th.
I think he'll be back before.
We hope to be open.
Yeah, and if not, we can set up a thing. If it doesn't work our normal thing and we need to come in early to remind folks, let me know. We'll be happy to do that. There. So. But check out the website, and folks, hopefully 1 month from now, we're talking and the museum's back, letting folks come in and visit and see all the cool things that they have.
Yeah.
So good deal.
I hope it too.
All right, Doug. I'm sure you got about 10 fires to put out, so I'll let you go do that.
Okay.
The man's got to be on the move. He's got a lot of restaurants
thanks.
to keep going here.
I appreciate that.
But thank you, Doug. And
thank you,
Happy New Year, and we'll see you next time.
Happy New Year.
Awesome. 7:51. Let's pause for news. Kim Commando update, Chaves County Sports, and just a couple commercials. It's the beginning of the year.
A winter weather advisory in effect for southeast New Mexico until 6 in the morning Friday. The National Weather Service says we can expect mixed precipitation and total snow accumulations up to about an inch, with amounts maybe 3 inches in the Guadalupe and Davis Mountains. Ice accumulations around 1/10 of an inch as well. Winds also very gusty, up to 50 miles per hour, especially in the higher elevations. Plan on slippery road conditions, and especially for the morning and evening commutes. Gusty winds could also bring down tree branches. One person has died after a police-involved shooting in Hobbs. New Mexico State Police have been called in to investigate the circumstances. NMSP says the suspect died in the incident after officers pulled over a Dodge Charger near the intersection of Marland Boulevard and Fowler in Hobbs. 2 officers reportedly fired their guns, but no other details about the events leading up to the gunshots have been released. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
Waking up on the right side. This is the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
I'm telling all of you right now, you're going to have to stay engaged. This is not, I voted for Trump, I did my part, I'm done. Because they have a very slim majority. We saw this unfold last week with the vote for Speaker. America now has an opportunity to return to constitutional order that our framers and our founders wanted. Government by, of, and for the people, not just words. Limited government. We say it all the time. Do we really want limited government? Because you're going to get an opportunity to have limited government and greater freedom. Donald Trump needed your help in 24. He will need your help to achieve what is a very ambitious agenda, especially with a slim majority in Congress.
From coast to coast, from sea to shining sea, it's the Sean Hannity Show.
All right, you said bye-bye to big government and you want limited government. You voted for that. Well, now it's time to trim the fat from big wireless. If you are still using the big carriers, Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile, I ask, why are you doing that? Because my cell phone company, Pure Talk, a veteran-owned company, gives you the exact same service. They use the same cell towers. You get the same 5G network. You get better customer service. And they're based here in the U.S., and you pay half the price for the exact same thing. Now, that's right. There's simply no need to spend $85, $100 a month per person on your wireless bill. Not when you can get unlimited talk, text, 15 gigs of data with mobile hotspot for just $35 a month. And by the way, the average family of 4 saves about $1,000 a year with Pure Talk. Make the switch. You simply dial pound 250. You say the keyword save now. Do it now. You save an additional 50% off your first month. That's pound 250, keyword save now from our friends at Pure Talk, America's wireless company.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. A big get-together for the city rivals last night in Roswell, on the Roswell Coyotes home court. It was a boys-girls doubleheader. Let's start with the girls game, where some mild surprise as Goddard defeats Roswell by a score of 51-45. Goddard's now 8-6 on the season. It was only the third loss for Roswell, who's 11-3. Goddard plays at Tucumcari tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. Tucumcari's actually 9-3, and that might be a decent game. Roswell playing at home against Mayfield Friday at 6:30. On the boys' side, it was Roswell beating Goddard easy, 70-32. The Coyotes are 10-4. Goddard is 5-6. Roswell next place Thursday night, tomorrow night, against Mayfield at 6:30. Goddard playing at the North-South Shootout Thursday against Belen at 1:30. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Some snow showers rolling through today. We have a low-pressure system moving in from southern Arizona. Pretty cool. We'll stay in the mid-30s. Little bit of accumulation possible, maybe an inch or so, and will stay cloudy. A few snow showers or flurries overnight with low 20s, and then more snow showers popping up on Thursday. Afternoon highs in the mid-30s to about 40. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. Applications for unemployment benefits fell to their lowest level in almost a year last week. The Labor Department says applications dropped to 201,000 for the week ended January 4th. That's down from the previous week's 211,000. A major citrus grower is calling it quits. The decision reflects the headwinds Florida's signature crops have been facing following a series of hurricanes and tree diseases. Alico Incorporated planning to wind down its citrus operations after the current crop is harvested later this year. A top policymaker at the Federal Reserve says he still supports reducing interest rates this year, despite elevated inflation and the prospect of widespread tariffs. Christopher Waller is an influential member of the Federal Reserve's Board of Governors. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
You there! What are these?
My glasses, Your Highness.
They're incredible. Who made these?
The eyesight in Roswell. Or was it Hobbs? Or maybe Carlsbad.
So well crafted and stylish. So the eyesight thinks they can challenge my throne with their quality eyewear.
Actually, Your Majesty, I got 2 pair and an eye exam. It was so easy. I did it during my lunch break, and they even took my insurance.
Lunch break? Who gave you a lunch break?
Human resources, Your Majesty.
Silence! I'll get you eyesight!
The Eyesight, now accepting new patients 5 and up in Roswell, Hobbs, and Carlsbad.
3 locations?
Clearly the best in sight.
Sure, you can inspect your own roof, get out that rickety ladder, crawl around up there and try to spot the problem until... Or you could call the experts at Do Right Roofing. Do Right Roofing has quality products for any type of roof. They can even install seamless gutters. Do Right Roofing will inspect your roof and give you a free estimate fast. Keep your feet on the ground. Call Do Right Roofing today.
575-623-2273. Let Do Right do your roof right.
Find them fast in names and numbers.
So your pecans aren't as big and bountiful as they used to be? Well, what would Jim Gill do?
Hi, this is Ben from Roswell Seed Company. Few people knew as much about pecans as Jim Gill. And if he were here today, he'd tell you it was time to fertilize. He'd tell you just what you need and show you how to use it. Then he'd make some joke about your neighbors making fun of your nuts.
So when there's trouble with your pecans, head for Roswell Seed Company and ask them, what would Jim Gill do?
Hello, I'm Kevin Jameson, volunteer and president of the Dementia Society of America. Please request our free guide filled with facts about dementia. Go to 1-800-DEMENTIA.org or call 1-800-DEMENTIA. Thank you.
Bill Cunningham is now in Roswell on 106.5 FM KEND Roswell.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. The Los Angeles area is a burning inferno with fast-moving flames ripping through homes and businesses. Evacuee Sharice Wallace says wildfire debris